Chapter 1828. Give it a try? Let's try it. Lang Yu refused to admit defeat and said, Your uncle and I are two people, and you are alone. We have so many guards outside, and they are much stronger than you. How are you going to make us stay? Sima Yue did not say anything and quickly formed a seal with her hands. Before they could react, she had already surrounded the house with a barrier. This barrier can isolate the situation inside, so the people outside don't even know that you are trapped. After dealing with you, wouldn't it be easy to deal with them? But the people outside can't hear what's going on inside, so you can't ask for help. The two of you are far weaker than the two of us. Do you think there's a chance of winning? Lang Yu said. Why don't you try and see if you can still use your spiritual energy? Sima Yue looked at him with a smile. Her confident look made her even more lively. Lang Yu tried to run his spiritual power, and found that there seemed to be something in his meridians that was hindering the operation of his spiritual power. You poisoned us? Lang Yu was shocked. With his nose, he didn't smell the poison. Yushi also gave it a try and found that the circulation of spiritual power was indeed not that smooth. He looked at Sima Yue and no one knew what he was thinking. Although the flow of our spiritual energy isn't very smooth, we can still use it. And we also have contract beasts. Lang Yu said. Contract beast? Do you want to compete with me? Sima Yue asked. Lang Yu was just about to say that he was right when Yushi spoke first. We lost. Yushi? Admitting defeat just like that? If we fight, we still have a chance to win. Lang Yu said. Competing with her in contracted beasts is just asking for trouble. Have you forgotten about her contracted beast in the human world? Yushi said. Lang Yu was at a loss for words, and then said, Isn't her contract beast in the human world? Since she's so sure, it means that she must have brought it over. Yushi said. And some of her contracted beasts are of the dark attribute, and they're very powerful. Lang Yu opened his mouth and then said, Well, if you hadn't secretly poisoned us, we wouldn't have lost. It doesn't matter what method I use, as long as I win against you. Sima Yue said. Are you going to tell your enemy that I'm going to poison you and that you should be careful? Well, they couldn't do it either. When did you poison him? Lang Yu asked. Why didn't I smell anything at all? This is a colorless and odorless poison that I specially developed for powerful people. When did I put the poison in? I was frightened by Uncle just now. My hand trembled and I accidentally spilled it. Sima Yue was very innocent. She accidentally spilled it. Only a fool would believe her. Fortunately, we are not your enemies. Lang Yu thought of her means and wisdom and said happily. If you are my enemy, I won't use this. Sima Yue snorted. She still had a lot of poisons. If it was an enemy, she would definitely use antivirus and not such a mild poison. Can you show me your poison? Lang Yu asked. It's the first time a poison can escape my nose. Sure. If you promise to keep it a secret, I will give you the antidote and then show you the poison. Sima Yue said. I have no problem. Anyway, I don't see the king often. Lang Yu agreed very quickly. Seeing this, Yushi could only agree helplessly. Sima Yue took out a jade bottle and threw it to Yushi. Then she came to Lang Yu's side and took out a black jade bottle and put it on the table. Lang Yu picked up the jade bottle and poured some powder on his hand. Then he leaned over and sniffed it. There was no smell. Where did you get this poison? I'm going to ask him how you did it. In fact, it's nothing. I just pay attention to the combination of the raw materials, and then refine it to make it purer. Sima Yue said. Did you refine this? I made it when I had nothing to do. Are you a poison master? Kind of. Then do you have any other poisons? Let me see if they are colorless and odorless. How can there be so many colorless and odorless poisons? Some are still not up to that level, but they are better than the others. Sima Yue took out a bunch of poisons. After Lang Yu looked at them, he became even more excited. He jumped on the chair and squatted down, discussing these poisons with her. Yushi and Morong Hui looked at the two people who were discussing in full swing, and looked at each other helplessly. Tell me the whole story. Yushi was speechless and could only talk to Morong Hui. Morong Hui told Yushi what had happened over the years from beginning to end. Hearing that Morong Hui was really dead, Yushi still felt sad. Although he didn't care about her all these years, she was still his sister's blood after all. Now she was dead. When he heard what Sima Yue did for Vast Region and Murong Hui, he sighed. She and her mother's temperament are really similar. It's really enviable that the princess has such a daughter, Murong Hui said. But I am also very lucky to get her to treat me wholeheartedly. She really respects me as a father. It's really good. But you have to remember, before her strength is improved, her identity can't be exposed. In addition to Aniheim, her enemies are those who died in Fair Eastern City. The incident at Fair Eastern City in the human realm had caused a huge commotion in the ghost realm because many forces had people who died in that incident. And they all knew that this matter was finally destroyed by Sima Yue. If he didn't mention this, Murong Hui wouldn't have remembered this matter. Now it seemed that her situation in the ghost realm was really dangerous. I will be careful, he responded. The two chatted for a long time, and Lang Yu and Sima Yue were still talking endlessly. To be precise, it was Lang Yu who pulled Sima Yue and talked endlessly. Most of the time he was talking, and Sima Yue was listening, occasionally interjecting a few words. However, what she said made Lang Yu feel enlightened, so even if she didn't say much, he didn't care. Yushi endured and endured, but in the end he couldn't help but interrupt him. We should go back. Go back. Go back where? Lang Yu looked at him with a dumbfounded face. Yushi held his forehead. We should go back to the inn. They still have things to do. We won't go back. Lang Yu waved his hand. I will live with Shir. Anyway, Shir said that she won't participate in the region competition, so there's no need to prepare anything. Let's move to this inn too. We have to go back to the Imperial City to report to the king. Didn't the king say that after this matter is done, he will let us rest? You. Well, I won't go anyway. Wherever Shir is, I will be there. If you want to go, you can go by yourself. Sima Yue's mouth twitched. Hey, do you have to say it so ambiguously? Chapter 1829. Yushi knew that once Lang Yu's stubborn temper flared up, no one could change it. He could only helplessly instruct the guards to change their into this one. His grade had dropped a lot in an instant, wasn't it? However, Murong Hui was even more helpless. They didn't even ask for his permission to switch to this inn. What about human rights? Sima Yue was also helpless, because Lang Yu had been talking to her for several hours, and Yushi and Murong Hui had already left the living room. Uncle Yu, look, the sky is already dark. She pointed at the pitch-black night sky outside. It's already night time? Lang Yu didn't realize it at all. Time flies. Yes. Sima Yue smiled. Well, I'm going back to rest. Goodbye. After that, she ran out of the living room and went back to her room without waiting for Lang Yu's answer. If he didn't seize the opportunity to leave, he wouldn't be able to. Lang Yu was very hurt. Was he someone that people wanted to avoid? He was not a venomous snake or beast. Early the next morning, Sima Yue took Ting Shan and Ting Shui out, saying that they had not found the whereabouts of the space artifact, but in fact, it was to avoid the crazy Lang Yu. Therefore, when Lang Yu went to find Sima Yue and learned that she had gone out, he was hit hard in the back. Am I that terrible? He said sadly. Compared to her, you are indeed. Yushi said. TSK, I don't care about you. Lang Yu rolled his eyes at him. By the way, didn't she offend the princess? As far as I know, the princess consort of Great Yu is a vengeful woman. She should know that Shir has arrived in Great Yu City. Won't it be a problem for her to run out like this? Yushi frowned. This was indeed a problem. Why don't we go find her? We have nothing to do anyway. Lang Yu said with a smile. But I don't know where she went. That's easy. Have you forgotten my specialty? Yushi glanced at him. I remember now. You have a dog's nose. Come on, let your dog nose do its job. Hey, let me remind you for the 354th time that my nose is not called a dog's nose. Lang Yu shouted. It's the same. Yushi ignored his clamor. If you don't go now, I'll change my mind. You win. I don't know whose niece she is. Lang Yu protested, but still led the way obediently. His nose was especially sensitive to smells, and this might have something to do with the underworld beast he had contracted. He had stayed with Sima Yue yesterday. If he wanted to, he could catch her scent in the air and find her. They followed the smell for a long time and entered all the shops that sold underworld tools. Thinking that he was also in the underworld tool shop yesterday, Lang Yu asked, "Is she so short of underworld tools?" "She must be looking for something," Yushi guessed. "We've searched so many places. It seems that it's not easy to find that thing." Lang Yu touched his chin. "Let's ask him later." "Even if we don't have it, the king should have it too," Yushi said. "If you tell the king, I bet you'll be tortured badly by her. Her poisons TSK are really good." When Lang Yu talked about Sima Yoyue's poisons, he became excited. "Don't waste any more time here. How much longer will it take to find her? Soon, let's go this way." Sima Yue walked into a small alley with Ting Shan and Ting Shui. Soon a group of men in black blocked the front, back, and both sides of the alley. "So many people have come, they really think highly of me." Sima Yue looked at them and had a rough idea in her heart. "Murong Shi, if you have self-awareness, surrender obediently, so that the people around you will feel better." "I have a lot of people, but I have fewer shortcomings. The main shortcoming is that I don't have self-awareness. So, I'm afraid I'll disappoint you," Sima Yue said. "Ha. Then don't blame us for using force. Go." Sima Yue called out He Yen and Little Meng, and then pulled Ting Shan and Ting Shui to the wall and stopped. Ting Shan condensed a protective circle and enveloped the three of them. "Wakaka, people like you want to kill my contractor. You must be tired of living. Eat my tail first," He Yen said and swung his tail. Sima Yue rolled her eyes. "You always say this sentence, can't you change the line?" Little Meng was much quieter. Looking at the men in black, she didn't say anything, condensed her spirit power and started fighting. When He Yen started fighting, she had already taken down 2 enemies. "Damn, do you have to be so fast? Don't you have to say something first? Why did you start fighting directly?" He Yen exclaimed. Since he joined the beasts, he knew that they would often compete to see who killed more enemies. This was the first time he killed enemies with other contract beasts. He didn't expect to meet Little Meng, who didn't play by the rules. Little Meng rolled her eyes at He Yen during the gap in the battle. Acting cool at this time, wasn't that waiting for people to attack? He Yen didn't pretend anymore after being stared at by her. He spread his wings and attacked those men in black. Sima Yue felt that He Yen needed Little Meng to spur him on. Let him be with Little Meng more in the future. He Yen, who was fighting with the enemy, suddenly felt a little cold, as if he had been schemed against. When Yushi and Lang Yu arrived, they saw corpses in the alley, and 3 people in the corner who were not stained with blood. Yushi frowned when he saw a portion of the corpses that were intact and a portion that had been torn into pieces. "Are you guys alright?" Sima Yue shrugged. "What do you think? It seems that you are not the ones who are in trouble." Lang Yu looked at the corpses. "Tiske, you are too cruel. You even dismembered them. You all use poison. Which one of them didn't die tragically?" Although Sima Yue disliked He Yan's violence a little, she was still very protective of her beasts in front of outsiders. "Who said that? Many of my poisons are very gentle, and their deaths are absolutely beautiful. Do you want to take a look?" Lang Yu defended himself and tempted her at the same time. Sima Yue was too lazy to pay attention to him. If she agreed, he would talk a lot again without stopping. She turned her gaze to Yushi. "Uncle, why are you here?" "Passing by," Yushi said lightly. "It seems that the princess consort of Great Yu underestimated your strength again. You are pretending to be a pig to eat a tiger. That's good." Sima Yue laughed. "Otherwise, I would probably be dead by now." "That's true. Let's dispose of these corpses directly." After Lang Yu finished speaking, he poured some liquid on the corpses. As soon as the liquid touched the corpses immediately turned into pools of blood. Uncle Yu, I have something else to do, so I'll leave first." "Hey, or are you still going to the underworld weapon shop? What are you looking for? This underworld weapon shop is almost finished by you." "How do you know?" Before she finished speaking, she felt movement in the spirit pagoda and took out the Sun Mother stone. Something happened. Chapter 1830. Something happened again? Shir, where are you now? Were you attacked? Moronghui asked anxiously. Father, I'm fine. What happened? Gu Zipping and the others went out and were beaten up. Sima Yue was shocked. Aren't they contestants? How dare those people do it? Do you know who did it? Lang Yu asked. I don't know yet. Shir, are you with Lord Envoy? Okay, father, we'll be back soon. Sima Yue said as she put away the mother-son stone and glanced at Yushi and the others. He's still my brother-in-law. Let's go take a look together, Yushi said. They returned to the inn and Sima Yue went straight to Gu Zipping's room. Morong Hui, Morong Lin, Fang Yinghan, and others were all inside, all bruised and swollen. Gu Zi was lying on the bed as a doctor was treating him. Blood dyed the entire bed red. Father. Morong Hui turned his head to look at her. Seeing that she was intact, he said, It's good that you're back. How's Gu Zipping? Sima Yue asked. Fang Yinghan's eyes were filled with tears, and she was on the verge of breaking down. It's all because of me, Ziping. Zhang Mingda's face was full of tears and blood. He was ashamed when he saw Sima Yue. The county had spent so much time, energy, and resources just for this competition. Who would have thought that before the competition even began, they would have already suffered heavy casualties? Shir, Ziping's meridians have been cut, Morong Hui said. Don't worry, I'll take a look at his condition first. Sima Yue nodded at everyone. The doctor stepped aside and allowed her to treat the patient. Sima Yue first checked his external injuries and sighed in her heart. No wonder they were like this. If it was an ordinary doctor, Gu Zipping would be crippled. Then he checked his internal injuries. Although they were more serious, they were easier to deal with compared to external injuries. Shir, how is he? Morong Hui asked. He had spent a lot of money to nurture Gu Zipping for this competition. Now that it was like this, he was afraid that this chess piece could no longer be used. Sima Yue knew Morong Hui's thoughts and said regretfully, I'm afraid he won't be able to participate in this competition. Zhang Mingda burst into tears, and the tears in Fang Yinghan's eyes couldn't help but fall. It's all my fault. If it weren't for me, how could Zipping become a cripple? Royal Prince, we have failed to live up to your expectations. Zhang Mingda knelt down with a thud and slapped himself repeatedly. Alright, Gu Zipping is like this. It's useless no matter how much you regret it. And I can't blame you for this. Morong Hui's mood was a little irritable, but he tried to restrain himself from getting angry. When Sima Yue saw the two of them crying, she thought to herself that the three of them usually cultivated together, and their relationship was really good. I didn't say that Zipping would become a cripple. I just said that he can't participate in this competition. Her words made the two of them stop crying. Zipping can still be saved? But didn't you and the doctor say that he was going to become a cripple? Zhang Mingda said with some disbelief. I just said that he can't participate in the competition. It was the doctor who said that he can't be saved, not me. You have to understand it yourself. Sima Yue said. I can make him recover, but it will take a long time. He will definitely not be able to catch up with this competition. When Morong Hui heard that there was still hope, he felt a lot more comfortable. Even if he couldn't participate in the competition, he could continue to be used by him in the future. Since there is a way, I'll have to trouble you, he said to Sima Yue. Father, this is a trivial matter. What's important is the competition. Sima Yue said. Zipping was originally one of our trump cards. Now that he can't participate, then we have one less player. There are still a few days before the competition. We have to quickly fill this vacancy. I'll discuss this with Lin again. You go and treat him first. After Morong Hui finished speaking, he took the people in the room out, leaving her to heal Gu Zipping. Sima Yue looked at Gu Zipping, who was covered in blood. Thinking that he had accompanied her to go shopping yesterday, and now he was like this, she couldn't help but sigh. Don't worry, I will definitely cure you. She took out the silver needles, and began to stop the bleeding and heal him. Outside the door, Morong Hui and Morong Lin were discussing things. Zhang Mingda and the others were guarding the door, waiting for Sima Yue to come out. Lang Yu and Yushi didn't leave. Did you see it? Lang Yu asked. Yes. Yushi understood what he was talking about. Then it's not my illusion. Lang Yu said. I used my divine sense to check that person's injuries. All his meridians were destroyed. Coupled with other injuries, this is definitely a situation where he's crippled. She actually said that she can cure him. How good is her medical skills? Even the imperial doctor may not be as confident as her. Yushi said confidence, not her medical skills, which meant that he didn't really believe in her medical skills. If she can really do it, then her medical skills are better than the imperial doctor. Lang Yu said excitedly. Hehe, those doctors rely on their medical skills, and their buttocks are going to be raised to the sky all day long. If you let her slap their faces, hehe. Yushi also laughed. Maybe there will be such a day. Because they were interested in Sima Yoyue's medical skills, the two of them didn't leave and waited in the yard with everyone. Not long after, a guard came over and said a few words to Morong Hui. Morong Hui left after telling Morong Lin something. The guard said, You the great Wangya asked him to go to the palace. Lang Yu looked at Morong Hui's departing figure, touched his chin, and said, It seems that the situation of you the great Wangya is not very good. It's been so long since he found out. His body has seriously restricted his strength. If this continues, the Great Yu dynasty will probably have to change its actual ruler. Yushi said, He is on Deja's side. Whether something happens or not, it has nothing to do with us. But they won't think so. Just don't cause trouble for her. Yushi didn't care much about other people, but if Sima Yue was involved, then he wouldn't agree. The princess consort of Great Yu is fine, but I'm afraid that the forces behind her. Lang Yu said with some worry. Humph, traitor, what's there to worry about? Yushi didn't have a good impression of the forces behind the princess consort of Great Yu, nor was he afraid of them. No matter how powerful they were, they didn't dare to go against the Ghost King. A few hours later, the closed door opened, and then a tired Sima Yue came out from inside. Miss, how is Zipping? The situation has stabilized, and he just needs to recover slowly. Sima Yue said, Where's my father? Only then did everyone realize that Morong Hui had been away for several hours. It was reasonable to say that if he just went to talk about this matter, he should have come back long ago. Chapter 1831. Sima Yue saw that everyone's expression was not right, and her heart sank. Did something happen to my father? Miss, shortly after we came out, someone from the Wangfu came to call the master over. Zhang Mingda said. It's been so long he hasn't come back yet? Sima Yue frowned. No. Where's Uncle Lin? The person in charge of the competition came to see the Duke, and Director Morong went to receive him. It should be about Zipping. Girl, can we go and see that person? Lang Yu asked. Sima Yue glanced at the two of them, nodded, and then said to Zhang Mingda and others. You are also injured, take these pills, and they will help you recover before the competition. Thank you, Mississippi. They all knew that Sima Yoyue's pills were better than other pills, and for the sake of the competition they did not refuse. You look after Zipping, if anything happens, contact me in time. I'll go and see how Uncle Lin is doing. Sima Yue finished speaking and left Gu Zipping's courtyard. Lang Yu and Yushi came to the room. Lang Yu went up to see Gu Zipping's situation and said in shock. His meridians have been connected. Are you sure? Yushi was a little surprised, but not as shocked as him. Yes. Although it's not completely healed yet, it's all connected. As long as it's supplemented with pills, it will be fully recovered in time. Lang Yu said. Zhang Mingda and others came in and happened to hear him say this. Their hearts were a lot better, and at the same time, they admired Sima Yoyue's medical skills. I always thought that our talent was very good, but now compared with Miss, I feel that we are not good enough at all. Fang Yinghan sighed. And we are not as hard-working as Mississippi, Zhang Mingda said. Miss saved Zipping for us, we must repay her well. You have to compete well and win glory for vast region, which is to repay them. Yushi finished speaking and left the room with Lang Yu. Sima Yue came to the inn's living room and did not see Morong Lin. She pulled a guard over and asked, only to know that Morong Lin had gone out with the people who came. Miss, do we need to find the manager? The guard asked. No need. Sima Yue said and walked out alone. When the guard saw that she was about to leave, he said, "Miss, are you going out?" Sima Yue was asking the scarlet bees of the prince's mansion to check the whereabouts of Morong Hui. Seeing a few worried faces, she said, "I'm going to pick up father." "Miss, it's too dangerous outside. Master definitely doesn't want anything to happen to you." The guard said, "Why don't you wait at the inn for master to come back?" "Don't worry, I have little black." Sima Yue said, "Protect the people inside well. Dad and I will be back soon." After saying that, she left the inn alone without waiting for the guard's response. The guard watched her leave and opened his mouth, but in the end he didn't stop her. Sima Yue walked towards the king's residence. Along the way, she kept in contact with the scarlet bees. Unknowingly, she had walked to a deserted area. She stopped and looked at the sparse buildings around her. She sighed slightly. "Do you need to make such a big scene to deal with me? You're quite sensitive." A voice sounded around her, making her unable to distinguish the direction. "What's the point of hiding? Since I've already found out, there's no point in hiding anymore," Sima Yue said. "Although you've found out, there's no need for this old man to come out," the voice said. "You're not worthy to see this old man's true face. I think you don't have the face to meet people," Sima Yue said. "But even if you let me enter your illusion, you can't trap me. It's already good that you can recognize my illusion. How many people have died in my illusionary realm without even realizing it?" The old man said proudly. "That's someone else, not me," Sima Yue said. "Since you think that I'm not worthy to meet you, then I can only let you see my ability and see if I can make you think that I'm qualified to meet you." Shameless boasting. "A little beast dares to bark here," Sima Yue said and released a wave of spiritual energy towards the southeast direction. Then a scream was heard. "You can actually find my location," the old man shouted angrily. "I said you're just a little beast. Do you think you're so great just because you know a little illusion?" Sima Yue snorted and released another wave of spiritual energy. An old man suddenly appeared on the empty street. "How did you find out where I was hiding?" The old man realized that he was injured by Sima Yue and fell into his own illusion. He was extremely shocked. Sima Yue thought that it would be an underworld beast that would appear. She didn't expect it to be a little old man. "It's actually a ghost. This means that you've made a contract with an underworld beast that can create illusions," she analyzed. "How did you know? Normal people wouldn't be able to discover the existence of illusions, much less my hiding place. There must be someone stronger helping you." The old man didn't believe that he was discovered by a junior like Sima Yue. He looked around, trying to find an expert. "Don't bother looking. There's only you and me here," Sima Yue said. "There's really no one? Then how did you discover me?" The old man still didn't believe her. Sima Yue shrugged her shoulders. "It's very simple because I have an underworld beast that's stronger than you." "What? How is that possible? Furthermore, do you really think that you're still in the illusion that you created?" Sima Yue kindly reminded him. The old man saw the smile on her face and had a bad premonition. He sensed for a while and his expression changed. This wasn't his illusion. "You created an illusion that's similar to mine. I didn't even notice it. How is that possible?" He tried his best to sense the illusion, but no matter how many times he tried, the result was the same. He couldn't control this illusion. "From the moment you fell in, you entered my illusion," Sima Yue said. "Even if you can create illusions, it's impossible to create one that's exactly the same as mine, and without me noticing. This is impossible. This is my illusion. How can I not know?" He shouted. "Of course it's because I have an underworld beast that's many times stronger than you," Sima Yue said. "Little Meng, come out and show him what a spirit-type spirit beast is." Little Meng came out and didn't hide her aura. The old man felt her aura and was stunned on the spot. "Dream incubus. How is that possible?" He cried out. "Incubus is already extinct. How can it still exist? In this world, there are some things that are impossible. For example, before you came to kill me, you definitely didn't think that you would die here today. Although you have incubus, it's still impossible for you to kill me. It's a pity that this incubus will die with you, Otherwise I can use it to form a contract. Chapter 1832. Sima Yue raised her eyebrows, so confident? Do you think you can trap me in a dream like this? The old man laughed. I've studied illusions all these years. These illusions won't be able to trap me at all. Then try it, Sima Yue said. I've studied incubi before. I know the weakness of their race's illusions. The old man said. As long as I attack, I'll naturally be able to break her illusion. Sima Yue was a little surprised. Xiaoming's illusion actually had a fatal weakness? His contracted beast is from a small branch of our clan. Maybe he really knows. Xiaoming said. Then I'll give you a chance. I'll let you try. Sima Yue said. I won't attack you. I'd like to see if you have the ability to get out. The old man snorted. He condensed his spiritual energy and attacked towards an inconspicuous direction. Xiaoming's illusion was indeed on the verge of collapse. The scenery on both sides of the street became illusory and then disappeared. At this moment, they were in a narrow alley. Hee hee, I've said before, you all have weaknesses. The old man said proudly. Without the illusion, you're not my opponent at all. Sima Yue shook her head and sighed. Actually, I really want to play with you and see what you're capable of. But I'm going to pick up my father now. So I'll have to end this quickly. Ha ha ha, little girl. You're so young, it's not good to boast. I'm not called Dream Realm's ancestor for nothing. I don't care so much. Sima Yue said. Me heir, you take care of it. Dream Realm's ancestor saw that she didn't call Xiaoming, nor that black dragon, but another contracted beast. His heart became alert. However, he didn't see any underworld beast come out. He thought that Sima Yue was just bluffing. Just as he was about to attack, he found that he couldn't move at all. This isn't the real world, he shouted in horror. Could it be that you can weave two illusions? No, impossible. Even if it's an incubi, it's impossible. It's indeed impossible for there to be two illusions. But who said that this is an illusion? Sima Yue smiled innocently when she saw his shocked expression. The Dream Realm ancestor suddenly thought of something, and the shock on his face turned into horror. This is a domain. How is this possible? Nothing is impossible. Sima Yue touched her long hair. Since I let you know Xiaoming's identity, I'm confident that you won't be able to leave here alive. Me heir, end this quickly. This was not a normal training session, so Sima Yue did not plan to do it herself. Me heir spread out from her hand. She did not even let the Dream Realm ancestor see his real body. A cloud of black fog wrapped around him. After it retreated, only a pile of white bones was left. The Dream Realm ancestor didn't even have time to scream before he died. He probably didn't expect that he would die in such a small alley after so many years in the ghost realm. Sima Yue called Xiaoming and Me heir back, and then continued to walk towards the Prince of Great Yu's mansion. At this time, in the Prince of Great Yu's mansion, a figure hurried into a gorgeous courtyard. Princess, we lost again. The person lowered his head, not daring to look at the Princess of Great Yu's face. The hand that was writing paused, and the 10,000-year-old blackwood pen broke in half. Lost again? How many waves of people have been sent out? The Princess of Great Yu's voice was cold, showing how angry she was now. The person immediately knelt down and said, Princess, please calm down. Who was sent this time? The Dream Realm ancestor. He also lost. The Princess of Great Yu was a little surprised. She thought that she had just sent an ordinary person, but she didn't expect it to be one of her confidants. Princess, the Dream Realm ancestor's life tablet has been broken. What did you say? The princess stood up and looked at the person on the ground in shock. You said he is dead? Yes, princess. How could it be? Although his strength is not very high, but with the help of the illusion he can complete every task successfully. This time, he actually fell into the hands of Moronghui? The Princess of Great Yu was a little suspicious. When did vast region have such power? Princess, it's not Moronghui, it's just Morongxi. Moronghui came to the prince's mansion today, because the contestants were beaten. Morongxi left the inn alone. You mean Morongxi can deal with the Dream Realm ancestor alone? When we got there, not even the bones of the Dream Realm ancestor were left there. But his life tablet was broken. Useless thing. The princess of Great Yu grabbed the inkstone beside her and threw it at him. The inkstone hit his forehead, leaving a big bump. Princess, please calm down. Calm down, calm down. You only know how to calm down. I sent so many people, but they couldn't even deal with a little Morongxi and lost so many people. Tell me, how can I calm down? The princess of Great Yu rebuked angrily. Why did I raise a bunch of trash like you? This subordinate is incompetent, please punish me, princess. The person on the ground lowered his head even more. However, we feel that Morongxi is not as simple as a duke's daughter. What do you mean? We all know the strength of vast region. With the strength of the Dream Realm ancestor, it is reasonable to say that it is more than enough to deal with them, but there are no bones left. This subordinate thinks that there should be someone behind vast region. Nonsense. Yushi is now living with them. Even if Princess Jinghua dies, it can't erase the relationship between them. Princess, Envoy, you did not send anyone to follow Morongxi. So, Morongxi is more suspicious? This is just the subordinate's guess. Since it's a guess, then confirm it. In addition, send the double fiend of Black Shadow. The person on the ground was stunned for a moment. Was there a need to send the double fiend of Black Shadow? But since it was the princess's order, he could only agree and then retreat. The princess of Great Yu looked at the calligraphy and paintings on the desk with cold eyes. Morongxi, you killed my brother. I must make sure that you won't be able to leave this Great Yu city. On the other side, after Sima Yue killed the Dream Realm ancestor, she continued to walk and came to the Prince of Great Yu's palace. However, she did not let the guard report, but stood dozens of meters outside the gate, waiting quietly. This wait lasted for half an hour. When the guards saw her standing there, they couldn't expel her because she was standing a safe distance away. But they couldn't ignore her, especially when she kept staring at the prince's palace. That gaze made them feel uncomfortable. Finally, the captain of the guards came over and asked, "What are you doing here? This is the prince's palace. Unrelated people should not stay here." "I'm here to find my father," Sima Yue said. "I'm waiting for him to come out and go back together. He's almost done." Chapter 1833. The guard captain was a little confused. This was the first time someone had done this outside the Wangfu. "I don't know who you are waiting for. If you say it, we can go in and report." The guard captain's attitude was still good, and he didn't force people away. Sima Yue was a little surprised by his attitude, but she still refused his kindness. "No, my father will come out in a while." "I don't know who your father is. He's coming out." Sima Yue saw the door open and smiled. Seeing Moronghui, she smiled and walked over. "Father." Moronghui and Moronglin came out of the Wangfu and saw Sima Yue. They were a little surprised. "Shi'er, why are you here?" "After I was done, I heard that you had been out for a long time, so I came to see you," Sima Yue said. "Are you done now?" In fact, she already knew the situation in the Wangfu and knew that he was not in danger, so she didn't break into the Wangfu. "It has been dealt with. Did anything happen to you?" Moronghui was very moved, but he didn't agree with her doing this. It was too dangerous. "No. Father, let's go back," Sima Yue said with a smile. "Well, let's go back." The guard looked at the back of the three people and murmured, "That person is actually the waste miss of vast region. This temperament." Sima Yue and the others walked back slowly. When they were far away from the Wangfu, Moronghui asked, "How is Gu zipping?" "The situation is temporarily stable. He can rest well later." Sima Yue replied, "Father, is Wang Ye looking for you because of zipping? Why did Uncle Lin come to the Wangfu?" "Lin came to the Wangfu for zipping. I was left by Wang Ye to discuss other things," Moronghui said. "How is the discussion about the competition going?" Moronghui and Moronglin were silent for a while and said, "Shi'er, I'm going back to discuss with you. Wang Ye allowed us to replace Gu Zipping's position. But it's too late for us to go back and find someone now. Can we find outside help in Dayu City?" Sima Yue saw Moronghui and Moronglin both looking at her, and the corners of her mouth twitched. "You don't want me to do it, do you?" "That's right." Moronghui nodded. We thought about it. It's too late to go back and find someone now, and we don't have anyone powerful at this age. With your strength, if you can participate, we might be able to get a higher ranking. Let me participate. Sima Yue did not agree immediately. She had not participated in such an occasion since she came to the world of spirits and souls, so she was a little hesitant. It doesn't matter if you don't want to. Moronghui said, we just thought about it. Wang Ye said that if we can't find a replacement, he'll give us an extra slot to advance to the next round. That's still doable. Father, I'll go. Sima Yue said. Only by participating in the county competition can one participate in the competition between the dynasties. Since I have to go to the imperial capital sooner or later, I can take this route. Good. Moronghui patted her on the shoulder happily. I believe that you can do it. To be eligible to participate in the dynasty competition, one must get into the top 50 of the county competition. In other words, she has the confidence to enter the top 50. Do I need to go to the prince's mansion to report this? No need. Moronghui said. The person who attacked Gu Ziping was not the princess, but the people from other counties. If they know that you have replaced his position, maybe they will also attack others. Just wait until the competition to say it. That's what I want. Sima Yue didn't want to be too ostentatious, and if her identity was announced, some things would not be easy to do. When they returned to the inn, it was already dawn. A familiar call came from the corner of the street, and Sima Yue saw Yuan Yin coming over with a few people. Moronghui and the others knew that she had a good relationship with Yuan Yin, so they said that they would go in first and let her stay alone. Sure, are you okay? Yuan Yin asked as soon as he saw her. Yuan Yin, why are you here? Sima Yue looked at the guards behind him, who were much stronger than before. Should I call you young master Yuan in the future? Thank you. I have just become the young master. Yuan Yin didn't expect her to be so smart. Just by looking at the strength of the guards around him, she guessed that he had successfully obtained the position of the young master. Congratulations, you finally got what you wanted. Sima Yue smiled. Let's find a place to get together? Yuan Yin said. I want to drink the tea you made. Then go inside, I'll make it for you to drink. Sima Yue took him to the small garden behind the inn, and Yuan Yin left the guards behind him outside the courtyard. Yuan Yin shook off the guards and asked before sitting down. I heard that your people were assassinated, are you okay? Did the princess do it? No, it was someone else who did it. One of our players was injured. Where is Emoji? Didn't you say that he has arrived in Great U City? Sima Yue asked him while making tea. He should have arrived a few days ago, but something happened on the way and he was delayed for a few days. Yuan Yin said. What is it that he, the young master of the Mo clan, has to do it himself? Sima Yue was curious. As an ancient race, the Mo clan has a high status in the ghost realm, and they rarely participate in the affairs of the ghost realm. Especially Emoji, the young master of the ghost realm. He is the same as his ancestor Mou. Ordinary things can't attract him at all. Do you know that there is a river of forgetfulness in the ghost realm? Yuan Yin asked. I know. According to the records in the book, this river of forgetfulness is a divine river on the side of the soul realm. The water is clearer than the Milky Way in the sky. Ordinary people can't float there at all, so only the soul race can live there. However, there are several sayings about the location of this river of forgetfulness. Why? Emoji's matter this time is related to the river of forgetfulness. When Sima Yue talked about the river of forgetfulness, she didn't know why, but there was a little throbbing in her heart. Yes. Did Emoji go to the river of forgetfulness? Sima Yue joked, but Yuan Yin nodded. He did go to the river of forgetfulness. He's not a soul race, what is he doing there? Sima Yue asked curiously. The river of forgetfulness is indeed in the soul realm, but few people know that the river of forgetfulness and the Nirvana river are actually connected. What? Sima Yue was so shocked that the teacup in her hand almost fell. Isn't the Nirvana river the largest river in the ghost realm? How can it be connected to the river of forgetfulness? If the two rivers are connected, wouldn't it become a river? In a mysterious place, the two rivers flow together. On the other side of the river is the river of forgetfulness where only souls can float. And on the other side of the river is the Nirvana River in the ghost realm. It's just that very few people know about that mysterious place, so they don't know that the two rivers are together. Chapter 1834. Sima Yue was surprised by the news and murmured, "There is actually such a place. I didn't know before. If Emoji hadn't told me, I wouldn't have known that the Wangchuan River and the Nirvana River were connected." Yuan Yan sighed. "Then Emoji went to the Wangchuan River?" Sima Yue asked. "He said that something seemed to have happened to the two rivers, so he wanted to go and have a look. Do you know what it is?" Sima Yue's eyes lit up. "Something happened in that kind of place. It must be a big deal." "Don't be so interested," Yuan Yan said. "Things in that kind of place are not something we can participate in. Be careful not to lose your life because of it." "I didn't want to participate, I was just curious." Sima Yue smiled. "I don't know what he has to do. He should be back in a few days. Since he has something to do, he doesn't have to come back." Although he said that he would come with her when she came to Du City, it didn't matter if he really couldn't make it. "I told him about the attack on you, and he is on his way back now," Yuan Yan said. "I originally thought that when I became the young master, I would have the ability to do something, but when I really sat in this position and learned more things, I found that I was even more powerless. As long as you are strong, you don't have to care about so many things," Sima Yue said. "I know this too, but it's easier said than done." Yuan Yan's words were a little bitter, and he didn't want to talk about this anymore. Instead he asked, "You haven't told me yet, how are you doing here?" "It's nothing, it's just that someone was injured. I wasn't with them, so it's okay," Sima Yue said. "I'm not talking about this time. How many times has the princess done something to you? I heard that the Dream Realm ancestor was killed by you," Yuan Yan said. "You know it so soon?" Sima Yue was a little surprised. It was less than a night since she killed the Dream Realm ancestor, and he actually knew about it, indicating that the strength of the Yuan family was more powerful than she thought. The Yuan family's news comes relatively quickly. "Businessmen, if you know the news early, you can survive well," Yuan Yan said. "Princess did send assassins to assassinate me twice, but..." Sima Yue shrugged. Her meaning was self-evident. "I used to think that the Wang Fei was so strong because Wang Ye had cultivated her over the years. After becoming the young master, I realized that the power behind her cannot be underestimated," Yuan Yan said. "Aniheim?" "No, but he is also one of Aniheim's people," Yuan Yan said. "He is a powerful subordinate of Aniheim." "But Du Wang Ye doesn't seem to be one of Aniheim's people. Then how could the power behind her be related to Aniheim?" "The princess consort of Great Yu's maternal family, the Lu family, is attached to the Zhu family. The Zhu family was not a member of the Aniheim before, but later betrayed the Aniheim," Yuan Yan explained. "If it was at the beginning, Wang Ye might have killed the princess, but now that she has become so powerful, it is impossible to destroy her. So the two sides are so distant. Du Wang Ye is really pitiful," Sima Yue sighed. "But it is also because of his poor health that most of the power of the Wangfu has been transferred to the princess. Otherwise, there would not have been a situation where your contestants were destroyed. But I don't think the higher-ups will sit back and watch the princess consort of Great Yu grow stronger, right?" Sima Yue put the brewed tea in front of him. "They don't care?" "Over the years, there have been constant struggles at the top, plus friction with other places, so they don't have the energy to take care of things here. But..." Yuan Yan looked around and set up a small enchantment, so that no one outside could hear his words. Sima Yue looked at his actions curiously, guessing what he was going to say. "I always feel that things are not like this," Yuan Yan continued. "Wang Ye used to be smart and powerful. How could he let the princess gain power? I think Wang Ye may be planning something bigger." Sima Yue somehow remembered that Moronghui stayed in the Wangfu for a day yesterday. Is there really something going on? She thought about this in her heart, but the expression on her face did not change, and she continued to listen to him. "I think Wang Ye may be waiting for an opportunity. An opportunity to completely eradicate the princess's power. Yuan Yen said. What about your Yuan family? Which side are you on in this matter? Sima Yue asked. That's just my guess. If you want to take a side, I think the family may not go anywhere. Yuan Yen sighed. The same was true for the family in the past, so although we have not chosen the wrong team over the years, we have not had the same style as before. Then you are not going to change it? Sima Yue raised her eyebrows. If I become the patriarch, maybe I can think about it. But now, Yuan Yan's words were very helpless. It can be seen that even if he became the patriarch, he still lived very helplessly. The two of them didn't continue on this topic and changed the topic to something else. Not long after, his guard came in from the outside. Although he didn't speak, the meaning in his eyes was obvious. It was time to leave. Yuan Yan sighed, drank the tea in the quilt, got up and said, I should go. I'll see you off. Sima Yue did not urge him to stay. It could be seen that he was not so free. After sending Yuan Yan away, she turned and entered the inn. As soon as she arrived at the courtyard, she saw Yuxi and Lang Yu staring at her in the corridor. What's the matter? Seeing that the two of them were looking at her strangely, she looked down at her clothes. It's pretty good, there's nothing wrong with it. You were attacked when you went out last night. Lang Yu said. Yes. You look at me like that. Could it be that the person I killed was one of your people? Are you in cahoots with the Princess of Great Yu? What are you thinking? How could we be in cahoots with them? Lang Yu gave her a blank look. We got the news that the Dream Realm ancestor is dead. We were wondering if he was killed by you. So it seems that it was really you. He came to kill me, so of course I had to kill him. You two scared me. Sima Yue curled her lips. Looking at the two of them, she thought that they were the ones who had killed them. It was you who scared us, okay? Lang Yu cried. Do you know who the Dream Realm ancestor is? Sima Yue blinked. Who? Even if we suddenly met him, we might not be able to escape unscathed. You actually killed him all by yourself, and you even did it without a sound. That's the scary thing, okay? I'm not alone. Sima Yue said. That's more like it. Lang Yu heard that she went out alone last night, and thought that she killed him alone. Now that she said no, he felt much easier to accept. Who was it? Sima Yue smiled. My beasts. The two of them. Chapter 1835. Sima Yue looked at their expressions and was amused. She burst out laughing. You guys don't have to be like this. I said that I have a lot of beasts. But I didn't expect him to be so powerful. Lang Yu was provoked. If her spirit beast wasn't powerful, she wouldn't have the confidence to deal with the two of us. Yuxi said from the side. But it's best not to go out alone in the future. After this incident, the people she sent next time would definitely be more powerful. Moreover, after suffering a few losses, I think she will directly increase several levels next time. That's right. If you want to go out in the future, just call us. Anyway, we have nothing to do here recently, and we're your uncles, so it's only right for us to protect you, Lang Yu said. Well, if I want to go out, I'll definitely call you guys. Sima Yue replied. But considering what happened before and the current situation, I think it's safer for me to stay here. I also need to prepare for the county competition. You want to participate in the county competition? Yeah. Ziping can't participate in the competition, and we don't have time to find him now. Wang Ye said that they can give us a place to advance to the next round, but it might not be safe. Why don't I participate? I might even be able to get a place, Sima Yue said. Have you thought it through? If you do this, it's very likely that you'll attract the attention of those people, and the chances of your identity being exposed will increase. Yuxi reminded her. I know. If I'm really discovered, I have the ability to deal with it. Sima Yue said. At least I have the ability to escape. It's fine as long as you've thought it through. Yuxi said. Besides, you'll have to face those things sooner or later. Yes. Sima Yue nodded. She didn't want to before, but now, she had the qualifications to face those things. All right. Since you've decided, I've also decided to go to the county competition this time. Lang Yu said with a serious face. Sima Yue rolled her eyes, as if it was a great honor for him to watch the competition. What she did not know was that this was indeed the case. In the past, no one had ever come to watch the county competition because they were too busy. If it wasn't for Sima Yue, the two of them would have left long ago to do other things. We've already kept your identity a secret. But in the future, if you go against the king, I will still stand on the king's side. Yushi said. I know. We just got to know each other. No matter what, the Ghost King is still the king you've pledged your loyalty to. I know what's more important. Sima Yue was not angry. I'm already grateful that you didn't tell him my identity. It's good that you understand. Now that they had made things clear, if there were any disagreements in the future, no one would feel betrayed or anything. Naturally, they would not be sad. Uncle, if there's nothing else, I'll go check on Zipping first. It's almost time to give him the acupuncture treatment. Sima Yue nodded at them and went to Gu Zipping's room. The other contestants have gone back, and Fang Han and Zhang Mingda stayed to take care of him. Because they took her medicine, the injuries on their faces were not very visible, but the other injuries on their bodies were not completely healed. Seeing her come in, both of them stood up. How is he? Did he wake up in the middle? Sima Yue asked. He woke up once, but his mental state is very bad, and his consciousness is not clear. Fang Han replied. He was seriously injured, not only physically but also mentally, so even if he wakes up now, he can't tell who is who. He'll be fine in 2 days. Sima Yue said. You two go down and rest first. I'll change his medicine and give him the acupuncture treatment. I can't finish it in a short time. Yes, Mississippi. Fang Han and Zhang Mingda left the room, and Sima Yue set up a barrier, and then began to change Gu Zipping's medicine and acupuncture treatment. In the next few days, Sima Yue found that Morong Hui's whereabouts were somewhat uncertain. He hardly went out in the first 2 days, but these days he was hardly in the inn. She thought of Yuan Yan's guess. If there is really any movement in the Wangfu, after hesitating for a while, she decided to contact the Scarlet Bees all over the Great Yu City to see if she could get anything. Until the eve of the competition, she did not leave the inn again, and so did the other contestants, which made the guards who had been worried feel relieved. Somewhere in the world of spirits and souls, at the place where the river of forgetfulness and the Nirvana River met, ripples suddenly appeared in the river that had been silent for thousands of years. Then a force split the river into two from the inside out. After a while, the river slowly separated from the light, and then a tired figure walked out from the bottom of the river. The man walked out of the river and came to the shore. When he stepped on the solid ground, he knelt down on one knee, and the sword in his hand gave him a good support. Congratulations on successfully passing this test. A figure vaguely appeared in front of him. Others couldn't see him, but Wu Lingyu could. Now that I have successfully passed the test, shouldn't you disappear from my sight? Wu Lingyu clenched the sword in his hand, and the cold light on the sword made the figure slightly afraid. You don't have to be so angry. The purpose of us doing this is just to make your strength more advanced, the Black Shadow said. Are you going to burn the bridge now? You threw me to that place and let me kill my way out step by step. In the past few years, I have been injured hundreds of times, and there have been dozens of narrow escapes. Do you think I will be grateful to you? Wu Lingyu's body was very hostile, and just one look made people feel a chill. Isn't the final result the same? You came out, and your strength has been improved. You have passed our test, so you are qualified to stand with Miss Yue, the Black Shadow said proudly. If it wasn't for these words, you would have been a dead man the moment I came out. Wu Lingyu didn't like what these people did, but because they wanted to improve his strength, so that he could protect Yue, he let them go. Of course, at this time he didn't know the identity of these people, and didn't guess that they were with the Netherworld King. He rested on the ground for a while, and when he got up, he looked at the two different colored waters, thought for a while, and walked towards the Nirvana River. With the river of forgetfulness in his left hand and the Nirvana River in his right, he thought it was very far away, but it was only a step away. Where are you going? The Black Shadow asked. To find her. Wu Lingyu replied. Last time you didn't allow it, saying that I had to pass your test. Now that I have passed, Do you still want to block my way? Chapter 1836. I'm not trying to stop you. I just want to remind you that this is the place where you will meet again at the banks of the river of forgetfulness. Even if you go there now, you won't be able to see her, the black shadow said. Wu Lingyu paused and continued to walk forward. He said, My fate is in my own hands, not in the hands of the heavens. What prophecy? As long as I look for her, I will find her. You're just a soul now, and a soul that's fused with the river of forgetfulness. Without separating from the river of forgetfulness, you can only obtain power from it. The world of spirits and souls is so big, you've already dissipated before we can find her. Wu Lingyu stood still. His body emitted waves of evil energy, which blew his hair and clothes up. If you didn't throw me to the bottom of the river of forgetfulness, would I have become like this? He condensed his spiritual energy and attacked the black shadow, causing the space around him to distort. The black shadow was surprised to see his strength increase so quickly. It seemed that he had obtained more than he had expected at the bottom of the river of forgetfulness. However, he couldn't reach him yet, or rather, he couldn't hurt him with his current strength. The spiritual energy passed through the black shadow's body and landed on the Nirvana River, stirring up raging waves and breaking the riverbank, causing the river water to gush out. The river of forgetfulness originates from the underworld. Its power comes from the underworld, while your power originates from the river of forgetfulness. Your power cannot harm me. The black shadow looked at the Nirvana River that was gushing out and drowning the surrounding land. He said, Your previous actions have attracted many people's attention. The people from the Soul Society and the Ghost Realm have rushed over to check it out. If something happens to the river, it will lead those people here. What does that have to do with me? When Wu Lingyu saw that his power was unable to harm Chu Li, the anger in his heart could not be vented. He did not care about those people at all. When you abandoned your body and came to the world of spirits and souls for her, your fates were tightly linked. Karma and retribution, if it doesn't fall on you, it will fall on her. What should I do? Wu Lingyu's attitude immediately changed. The black shadow smirked. The river of forgetfulness and the Nirvana River were originally one, but they split into two later on. If you can control the river of forgetfulness, you can also control the Nirvana River. Although it's not as easy to control as the river of forgetfulness, it's still very easy to control the river water. Wu Lingyu glanced at him and flew to the surface of the river. He controlled the river water to flow backwards. When all the river water had flowed back, he moved the mud and rocks not far away and blocked the gap. Looks like you're very proficient in using it. When he saw Wu Lingyu looking at him with a smile that was similar to Sima Yoyue's, he subconsciously dodged to the side. Pa! A bolt of lightning struck the place where he had been standing. If he had not escaped in advance, he would have been at least half crippled. Even though he had escaped in advance, his arm was still injured by that power. His half-charred arm made him grimace in pain. I really have to thank you for your reminder. I was thinking that since Yu and I are connected, I might be able to use lightning as well. I didn't expect it to be really useful. Wu Lingyu gratefully cupped his hands towards the black shadow and flew into the river of forgetfulness with a laugh. This guy is as vengeful as you were. The black shadow looked at his arm, took out a medicinal pill and ate it, and then disappeared from the air. On the eve of the region competition, Missouri Ji finally came back. Sima Yue saw his travel-worn appearance and said, I'm fine here. You don't have to come back in such a hurry, do you? So, I'm doing something unnecessary? Emoji looked at her with a slight grievance. Of course not. I'm very grateful, Sima Yue said. So I've prepared a table of good dishes to welcome you back. Is there tea? Yes. Sima Yue took him to the dining room. The food was indeed ready on the table, and Yuan Yen was already waiting for him at the table. You're finally here. If you don't arrive, I'll be drowned by my own saliva, Yuan Yen said. I haven't seen you for a year, and now that you've become a young master, you've learned to exaggerate? Emoji snorted. That's because you haven't eaten Er's delicious food, Yuan Yen said. When you eat it, you'll find that it's such a happy thing to have such a table of delicious food waiting for you. Emoji smiled, thinking that he was exaggerating. He only liked tea. No matter how good the food was, it would not interest him too much. Take a seat. Sima Yue found a seat by herself and sat down. The three of them almost formed a triangle. Yuan Yin got permission and began to eat. Emoji looked at his impatient look, shook his head helplessly, and began to eat himself. After taking the first bite, he found that the taste of Sima Yue's cooking was indeed much better than that of other people. Although he wasn't a foodie, he had to admit that he ate a lot more than he used to. After eating, the three of them walked around the garden of the inn for a while, and then went to drink tea to digest the food. There's delicious food to eat, and you can drink the tea made by she. It would be great if such a life could be frequent. Yuan Yin sighed. Your guards didn't ask you to go back? Sima Yue asked. The family knows that I am with Emoji, and they want me to stay with him for a while. Those guys won't be so ignorant. Yuan Yin said. You being a young master has the same effect as not being one. Emoji said. That's right. My young master is not as domineering as your young master. Yuan Yin was not angry. By the way, what happened at the Nirvana River? Sima Yue also looked at him. In fact, it's nothing. It's just that the Nirvana River has been a little turbulent recently. Everyone suspects that some strange treasure is about to be born. Emoji said. Looking at you like this, I know that the news is false. Sima Yue said. I don't know. Emoji's answer was unexpected. You don't know? I went to take a look. The Nirvana River is indeed restless, but it doesn't necessarily mean that a strange treasure will appear. I didn't feel the aura of a strange treasure. However, the movement is indeed a bit similar to the birth of a strange treasure. Emoji said. Is there such a thing? Your Mo clan is very sensitive to the aura of strange treasures. So many treasures were snatched by you in the past. Now even you are not sure. It seems that it's really a bit strange there. I'm a little curious about that place. Sima Yue said. If it's not the birth of a strange treasure, it must not be a simple guy who can make that kind of movement. I think so too. Emoji agreed with her view. I was going to study it there, but I thought that you would come to the Great U City, so I came back first. When the matter of the region competition is over, I plan to go and have a look again. Sima Yue's eyes lit up, and she looked at him with a smile. Can I go with you to see it? Chapter 1837. Emoji was a little surprised at her request. She used to have no interest in the outside world. Weren't you unwilling to do those things before? Yuan Yin asked. The past is the past, and now is the present. My strength is different, and of course, I will do things differently. Besides, Sima Yue smiled. I have always been very interested in treasures. I think it's the treasure that attracts you, right? Emoji said. If you want to go there, you must prove that you have the strength to be with me. Otherwise, I don't want to be distracted to protect you in such a dangerous place. I have Hei Yan, Sima Yue said. That's not enough. Emoji shook his head. Then how do you prove it? Top 10. If you can get into the top 10 of the region competition, after the competition, I will let you go with me. Emoji said. Sima Yue thought about it and agreed to this condition. As long as I get into the top 10, you will take me there. No problem. Yuan Yin saw that she was quite confident and reminded her. Do you know the strength of the people participating in the region competition? Although your strength increased a little when you contracted Hei Yan, those who can participate in the region competition are all geniuses of various regions. Their strength is much more powerful than those of your vast region. The top 10 is not as easy as you think. Would you like to change the condition? Although he said this to Sima Yue, he did look at Emoji, hoping that he could change the condition. I know, I believe I can do it. Sima Yue was very confident. Yuan Yin saw that she had made up her mind, so he couldn't persuade her anymore. He said helplessly, I think the Wangfu should have all the lists for this competition. I will find a way to get it for you. You should know your opponent first. Thank you for your kindness, but no, I already have the list. Sima Yue looked at Yuan Yin gratefully. Although he was a bit aggrieved as a young master, His heart was still good. You already have it. Do you know how many people there are in the competition? There are 2,430 people, among whom there are 270 people who have reached the advanced level of the Underworld sect, 47 people who have reached the primary level of the Underworld Emperor, and 7 people who have reached the intermediate level of the Underworld Emperor. As for their contractual beasts, I don't know them very well, but I believe that this is not marked on the statistical list of the Wangfu. Every time Sima Yue said a number, Yuan Yan's eyes widened. No one knew about these numbers except for those on the list. How did she know? Since you know, are you sure you can get into the top 10? Emoji asked. Even if I'm not strong enough, I still have my beasts. Sima Yue said. I think those people's beasts shouldn't be as powerful as my onyx. If that doesn't work, I still have other trump cards. Just wait for the results. Emoji raised his eyebrows. Are you really willing to expose your details for a treasure that may not exist? Sima Yue tilted her head and thought for a while, saying, I don't know why either. It seems like I just want to go there. It was as if he would miss out on something if he didn't go. There was an uneasy feeling in his heart. Maybe there are really all kinds of treasures there that are calling me. Why are you two looking at me like that? Do you know that some artifacts really choose their own masters and summon them to find them? Is there really a treasure calling you there? Yuan Yin looked at her with envy and jealousy. It shouldn't be like this, right? If it is, will it be a space artifact? Sima Yue asked with a smile. Do you lack a space artifact? Emoji asked. It's not a space artifact, it's a space artifact. Sima Yue corrected. You went to a lot of underworld artifact shops before looking for this? Yuan Yin remembered that she went to the underworld artifact shop as soon as she arrived in the Great Yu City. Yes. Since you all know this, do you know where there is a space artifact? Sima Yue asked. Space artifacts are very rare, and there are very few of them. Even if those people have one, they will hide it. As for those who let people know, they all have strong strength. You have to think about it if you want to grab it. Sima Yue turned her hope to Emoji. Doesn't your Emo clan have a lot of treasures? Is there a space artifact? There are a few space artifacts, but they are all in the hands of my clansmen. Emoji said. Sima Yue was quite excited when she heard it, but she didn't expect him to say that there were no more space artifacts. They have already been distributed to her clansmen, so she can't rob his clansmen. There is no space artifact, but there is still a sacred artifact. Do you need to make do with it? Emoji asked. Forget about the sacred artifact. I only want the artifact. Sima Yue was a little discouraged. What do you want the artifact for? It's for my own use. Sima Yue said. Alas, do I really have to imagine that there is a space artifact waiting for me in the Nirvana River? You don't have to be so disappointed. There will definitely be one in the Ghost King's place. Emoji said. I heard from the old ancestor that Anaheim had it before, if you can snatch it from her. Sima Yue became energetic again when she heard this. Are you serious? Hey, don't be like this, it will scare people. Yuan Yin almost jumped up when he saw her like this. Do you know who Anaheim is? If you go and confront her. Don't worry, I won't go at this time. I'm not a fool. Sima Yue rolled her eyes. Was the word fool written on her face? Yuan Yin felt that it was almost the same. It was a very crazy thing to have this idea. You'd better compete well. Emoji said. I don't think this process will be easy. Yeah, it won't be easy. Sima Yue said meaningfully. In the following time, not only the competition, I'm afraid that a lot of things will happen. It really won't be easy. The next day, Sima Yue followed Morong Hui to the competition venue early. After so many years, she participated in such a competition again. As soon as she sat down in her seat, she felt a complicated gaze. She turned her head and saw Yu Qi walking in with Xiao Ruobai from the outside. Xiao Ruobai's eyes were tangled and painful, and a trace of guilt surged in her heart. Although it was unintentional, she was indeed the one who ruined her happy life. The little prince is here too, Morong Hui said. Sima Yue saw a commotion at another entrance, and the little prince Yufei also walked in under the protection of the guards. Yu Fei and Yu Qi walked to the audience at the same time. Yu Fei first saluted Yu Qi. "Seventh brother, you are here too. You used to have no interest in the region competition. Aren't you the same?" Yu Qi replied with a smile. The atmosphere between the two was a little subtle, but people in the distance saw a picture of harmony. Chapter 1838. Sima Yue looked at Yu Qi and Yu Fei. Their temperaments were quite similar. They were both gentle and elegant in front of others. But as for the real situation, it was estimated that only those who knew them would know. Is this the rumored future seventh princess consort? Yu Fei turned his gaze to Xiao Ruabai. She is indeed a lovely person. Yu Qi did not deny it, which meant that he acquiesced to his words. Xiao Ruabai bowed to him and said lightly, "Little prince, you misunderstood. I am not the future seventh princess consort." "Is that so? Then I was wrong. Please don't take offense." The smile on Yu Fei's face was a little unnatural, and he apologized for his behavior. Sima Yue curled her lips. Although this guy was apologizing, he was very happy to see Yu Qi's gloomy face. Murong Hui said that Yu the Great and Wang Ye intended to pass the throne to this little prince. Now it seemed that this little prince was not very good. "The eldest prince and the second prince are here," someone said. The entrance was noisy again. A man with a big belly and a thin man came in from the entrance. Yu Fei and Yu Qi looked at the people who came and bowed together. "Eldest brother, second brother. You are here too. Everyone is here this year." The eldest prince Yu Lu laughed. "You two came early this year. I don't know if the other brothers will come." The second prince Yu Yen smiled. Perhaps because of his poor health, his smile looked a little pale and weak. "They should come," Yu Qi said. "Since we are here, let's take a seat first. Staying here will hinder others. Let's go." Yu Lu, Yu Qi, and Yu Fei walked in front, and the second prince Yu Yen walked in the back. Sima Yue looked at the second prince who was ignored by everyone and asked Murong Hui, "Father, what about this second prince?" "Second prince?" Murong Hui glanced at Yu Yen and said, "He was born to a concubine of Wang Ye. That concubine was not very strong herself, and there was no strong force behind her. She died not long after giving birth to the second prince. Because Wang Ye liked that concubine very much, he protected the second prince well, and let him grow up smoothly. However, the second prince has been in poor health since he was young, so it was impossible for him to inherit the throne. Therefore, everyone gradually neglected him, and allowed him to live until now." Sima Yue looked at Yu Yen. His pale face was abnormally red from coughing. Sensing her probing, he turned to look at her, smiled at her, and turned back to chat with the first prince. "This second prince." Sima Yue tapped her fingers on her knee and said with interest, "Shi'er, what are you thinking about?" Murong Hui looked at her and asked. "Nothing." Sima Yue smiled. "Yes, Shi'er, you must be careful during the competition. I heard that the rules have changed this time. It is no longer a matter of stopping, but life and death are ruled by fate," Murong Hui said. Suddenly changing the rules? I think it should be the princess's idea. She should have gotten the news that you are going to participate in the competition, and changed it for you, Murong Hui said. Sima Yue smiled sarcastically and said, "She wants to deal with me like this? She is too naive. In short, be careful," Murong Hui urged. "I know, father," Sima Yue said. Yu Yen and Yu Lu talked for a while. When the others were talking, he seemed to inadvertently look in the direction of Sima Yue. "Second brother, don't you think so?" Yu Lu's voice pulled his attention back. "Brother Wang is right," Yu Yen responded. "What are you looking at?" Yu Lu saw him looking over there just now. "Who is that woman?" Yu Qi and the others also looked over and saw that it was Sima Yue. "Big brother, she is Murong Shi who killed little uncle. Mother sent a lot of people to kill her, but they all returned without success. Even the Dream Realm ancestor and Double Fiend Black Shadow were killed by her. She is Murong Shi? She looks quite beautiful." Yu Lu saw Sima Yue and touched his chin. "I don't know if I can ask mother to let her come over. I heard that this Murong Shi's appearance is 90% similar to the original Dark Princess." The dark princess is peerless, so this Morongshi naturally looks good. Yufei said. I heard that this face is very troublesome. Brother Wang, it's better not to get into trouble. The more exciting things are, the more exciting it is to do them, isn't it? Yu Lu smiled evilly. As long as Brother Wang likes it, you can have anything you want. Yu Qi said. Mother may be more willing to make you happy than to kill her. Ha ha, I think so too. Mother loves me the most. Yu Lu smiled proudly. If she falls into my hands, I will definitely avenge little uncle hee hee. Sima Yue felt a few bad gazes and frowned slightly. A touch of disgust and impatience flashed in her eyes. Xiao Ruobai was a little worried at first, but after seeing her expression, she smiled instead. Looking at her expression, she knew that if they really dared to do this, they would definitely not be able to bear the consequences. But her smile did not last for a few seconds and disappeared again. Her expression was a little painful. Shouldn't she be looking forward to Sima Yue's bad luck? Why should she worry about her? Sima Yue sighed faintly. Young Mississippi Fang Yinghan and Zhang Mingda came over from their seats. What's the matter? Sima Yue looked at their mysterious appearance and didn't seem to want Morong Hui to know, so she got up and left with them. They came to the last row and Sima Yue looked at them. What's the matter? Young miss, we recognized the person who hurt Ziping. Fang Yinghan said. Recognized? Sima Yue asked. Yes. Fang Yinghan nodded. You told us that day that if the people who beat us were not from the He family, then they might be the people who have a grudge against us. Those people are very likely to be the contestants. We saw it just now. Are you sure it's them? Sima Yue asked. Those people, even if they turn into ashes, I will still recognize them. Zhang Mingda's eyes were red. Although they were wearing masks at the time, their body shape and their voices were in my mind all the time. Since you're sure, then it's easy. Sima Yue sneered. It just so happens that there are new rules. Life and death are up to fate. You have to seize the opportunity. Should we tell the Duke? Sima Yue thought for a while and said, I will tell father about this. You go and tell the others that if you meet them, don't be merciful. Cripple them. It's time to let them know what an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. Previously, they bullied Ziping with their numbers. Now let's see if they can still be so powerful. Chapter 1839. In 1 second, she remembered, Love Divided by You? Read book Webno pop-up window, free to read. Everyone waited for a while, and Wang Ye the Great brought the Princess of Great Yu to the competition venue. Wang Ye the Great's complexion was very bad, and Sima Yue could tell at a glance that she had not recovered from her serious injuries. The Princess of Great Yu looked dignified and virtuous, and the faint smile at the corner of her mouth made her look amiable in front of everyone. However, Sima Yue knew that under her hypocritical appearance, she had a ruthless heart. The Princess of Great Yu glanced at Sima Yue. The smile at the corner of her mouth did not change, but her eyes became cold. Sima Yue smiled sweetly at her, very proud. The Princess of Great Yu secretly gritted her teeth, and then returned to her usual appearance. He also smiled at Sima Yue, and his smile was full of confidence. No matter how the people she sent to investigate Sima Yue, they only found out about Morongshi. Except for the Black Dragon, there was nothing special, so she should not have any special power. As for the people who were sent to die, they should not have been killed by Sima Yue. Since Yushi and the others were here, it was very likely that they did it. She had someone to protect her before, but now that she is going to participate in the competition, no one can protect her. She really didn't expect that she would participate in the competition, giving her such a good opportunity. Later, Wang Ye the Great made a speech, and the referee explained some rules. And then the competition officially began. The rules of the competition were actually very simple. Black and red notes with numbers written on them, and the two colors with the same number of words would compete, so that half of the people would be eliminated, and then they would draw lots to compete again, and so on. Contestants, please come up and draw lots. The host said loudly. Sima Yue and Fang Yinghan went to the stage to draw lots. Among so many people, there were very few people from their own county. Sima Yue drew a red lot. Fang Han and Zhang Mingda both drew black lots, and the three of them staggered. The first 100 contestants, please enter the realm of emptiness. The host said. The realm of emptiness. This year, the realm of emptiness was actually opened. Some county kings were surprised when they heard the name. Sima Yue was not in the first 100 contestants. Seeing those people so surprised, she asked, "What is this realm of emptiness?" "It's a space that can be expanded and shrunk at will. It's a bit like a small world. When the contestants compete in it, they can perform better in terms of space. Moreover, the realm of emptiness is transparent, and the audience present can also see the situation inside." Moronghui explained. "If there is no arena, how will the judges follow along?" Sima Yu asked again. Morong Yu, so he didn't know. Everyone else is. At this moment, the host above said, "Before entering, all of you will have a token. After the realm of emptiness is sealed, it will not open again. This token is the key to your exit." Okay, the first 100 contestants go in. The contestants in the top 100 went to the host to get their talismans. One by one, they entered the realm of emptiness and each chose a space to start the duel. The princess consort of Great Yu was stunned when she heard the host's words, and then said to Wang Ye the Great, "Wang Ye, why didn't you tell me that you changed the rules? We still have to discuss such a big matter." Wang Ye the Great coughed twice and said, "It's not a big deal, it's just adding a talisman in. After all, they are all resources of the dynasty, and one of them dying is also a loss to the dynasty. If they die, it can only mean that their skills are not as good as others. Such people will not be of much use to our dynasty. What's the use of having them?" The princess consort of Great Yu snorted coldly. "My dear consort, you care so much about this. Are you trying to use this to deal with someone?" Ahem. Wang Ye the Great coughed after saying a few words. "I don't care what you usually do, but when it comes to the future of the dynasty, I can't let you decide." Compared with his usual gentleness and forbearance, Wang Ye the Great's words were all very heavy, causing the princess consort, who was used to being strong, to be stunned for a moment. However, seeing that he was so determined and on such an occasion, she could only swallow the rest of her words. So what if there was this rule? Then she wouldn't have the time to come out. The first 200 people all went in, and the host asked people to close the realm of emptiness, and all the people inside began to fight. "It's already started? It seems that we are a little late." Lang Yu's voice came from the air, and when everyone looked over, two people had already appeared there. When the Great Yu royal family saw the two of them, they all stood up to greet them, and when the others saw this, they all stood up as well. Wang Ye the Great apologized. "I didn't know that the great envoy would come, so I didn't greet you, please forgive me." "No need, we came by ourselves." Lang Yu waved his hand. "Then please sit down, both of you." Wang Ye the Great left his seat with the princess consort. The most honorable seats here were the two of them. "No need. We can find our own seats," Yushi said, and in a flash he came to Sima Yoyue's side. "Yes, Wang Ye, you can continue. We are here to cheer for our niece, you don't have to worry about us." Lang Yu also came to Sima Yoyue's side and stood on both sides with Yushi, staring at Fang Han and Zhang Mingda. The two of them were stared at until they felt goosebumps all over their bodies, and they quickly moved aside. Lang Yu took out a handkerchief and wiped it before sitting down. After they sat down, Wang Ye the Great led everyone to sit down, and continued to watch the competition. Sima Yue rolled her eyes and asked, Uncle Yu, do you need to come here in such a high-profile manner? When has your Uncle Yu ever kept a low profile?" Lang Yu returned her an arrogant chin. "How about it? What's your number?" Sima Yue gave him her number. Seeing her number, Lang Yu laughed out loud. 250, you are actually 250. Ha ha ha. Why did you draw such a number? Do you have to laugh so happily? Sima Yue glared at him, snatched her number back and threatened. "If you laugh again, do you believe that I will make you laugh until you can't stop?" You don't have to be so ruthless, do you?" Lang Yu thought of her poisons, immediately stopped laughing, and looked at her warily. It was not that he was afraid of her, but that even he could not find an antidote for her poisons. If he was really poisoned, then he would definitely laugh for 2 days and 2 nights before he stopped. Humph. Sima Yue gave him a look that said, "You can try," and continued to watch the competition in the realm of emptiness. She did not notice that the princess consort of Great Yu winked at the person on the sidelines. The person nodded and quietly left the place. Chapter 1840. The realm of emptiness was a transparent space, and people outside could see the situation inside clearly. The people outside could clearly see who used what underworld skill, who hurt their opponent, and who had the upper hand in the duel. Less than 10 minutes into the battle, the first casualty appeared. Sima Yue looked at the corpse that was teleported out and sighed for him. An early-stage underworld sect cultivator meeting an early-stage underworld emperor. Brother, your luck is really indescribable. The winner crushed the talisman and also left the realm of emptiness. He did not even look at the corpse on the ground, and went straight to the registration office to register. What a cold-blooded and arrogant person. Sima Yue sighed. Reaching the emperor of the underworld at such a young age. You do have the right to be arrogant. However, I don't like this kind of person. Just don't let him fall into my hands. Lang Yu snorted. He didn't have a good impression of this person. I saw it just now. His attacks are fast and ruthless. If someone of the same level as him were to fight against him, it would be a tough battle. Sima Yue analyzed. What about you? Are you confident if you meet him? Yushi asked. If I can't do it, my beasts can too. Sima Yue said. You can't rely too much on spirit beasts. I know, so I have more things to rely on. Do you want to try? Sima Yue tilted her head and smiled at her. That's enough. I think yours is pretty good too. Anyway, it's a good way to win when you're fighting with others. Lang Yu said. When he saw Yushi laughing, he complained. What are you laughing at? You and her are jackals of the same tribe. Thanks for the compliment. Where's your face? Lang Yu rolled his eyes at him and turned his head. When he saw the person coming in from the entrance, he muttered, Why is he here? Sima Yue followed his gaze and saw Emoji and Yuan Yin walking over. Sorry we're late. Something happened before I came out. Yuan Yin apologized to Sima Yue. It's okay. Sima Yue said. Lang Yu stared at Emoji. The young master of the Mo clan is also here. Where is your ancestor? The old ancestor's whereabouts are erratic. I don't know either. Emoji said. I heard that the rules have changed this time. How is it? Yuan Yin asked. Let's sit down and talk. Sima Yue gestured, and Fang Yinghan, who had just retreated to the side, stood up again to give up their seats. Mrs. Friends were all existences that they could not afford to offend. It was better for them to sit further away. When Yu, Wang Ye and the others saw Emoji coming over, they were shocked again. They wanted to come over to greet him, but they were stopped by a look from him. When did this Morong she get together with the young master of the Mo clan? Yu, Wang Ye asked the princess consort. The last time the Mo clan's young master and the Yuan clan's young master went to Vast City, they seemed to know her, and their relationship seems to be good. The princess consort of Great Yu pinched her fingers, secretly hating that Morong she was so lucky to have hooked up with the young master of the Mo clan. She killed her little brother, and Yuan Yin actually brought her to put pressure on her, and he actually agreed. This forced her to not be able to do anything to Morong Shi for the past 2 years. Now that he came over at this time, it must be to protect her safety. As long as she enters the realm of emptiness, they can't protect her. Soon after, another group of contestants had their results. This time, it was also one dead and one alive. It's just that the one who was alive this time didn't get any benefits. It's just the beginning, and 2 have already died. I don't know what will happen later. Fang Yinghan sighed. With the new rules, these people will definitely want to weaken the strength of other counties as much as possible. In the past, those who were not chosen by the dynasty would become the power of the county. Now that others have lost a little more, they will become stronger. Yuan Yin sighed. Actually, this is quite good. Lang Yu said. In this world, the survival of the fittest is everywhere. Only the strong can survive. Those who die can only blame themselves for not being as good as others. The other dynasties have always been like this. Only our Great Yu dynasty has started from this session. I think since it has started, it may continue to be like this. It can only be said that the ghost realm is too cruel. Sima Yue sighed. Won't the competition in the human world determine life and death? Lang Yu asked her with his eyes. I heard that in the human world, those people's competitions are generally not that serious. Sima Yue said. Survival in the ghost realm has always been much crueler than the other two realms. Yushi said, this place has to accept the souls of the other two realms. If not many people died, then the ghost realm would have been crowded. It's your first time participating in this kind of competition, and seeing these things for the first time. You have to slowly get used to it in the future. I know, uncle, Sima Yue said. She understood what Yushi meant. The ghost realm was like this, and she had to get used to it. As time passed, the first 100 groups ended one after another. Sima Yue counted that 48 people had died. 40 people crushed their own talismans at the critical moment, and the remaining 12 people took the initiative to admit defeat. It seemed that in the end, everyone realized that if they didn't admit defeat, they would only end up dead, so everyone would make a choice in the face of danger. And those county kings could also accept it. Losing a little face was better than losing a group of future backbone forces. When the first 100 groups were over, the host let the 101 to 200 enter. With the experience of the first batch, everyone admitted defeat early when they saw that they couldn't beat them, so the speed of this batch was much faster than before. Look at this speed, you will go to the competition in a while. You have to be careful of the princess's tricks. Yuan Yen said. You're not afraid of being known by her when you talk on such an occasion. Sima Yue said. When I saw emoji, I understood why I was so aggrieved as a young master. Since it's already like this, I don't need to curry favor with her. Yuan Yen said. If he hadn't taken emoji to intercede for Sima Yue, the princess would not have put pressure on the Yuan family. So now even if he became the young master, he was restricted everywhere. After entering the realm of emptiness, we can't come to your side in the first place. Are you ready? Emoji asked. Sima Yue nodded. Don't worry, I will work hard for our agreement. Agreement? What agreement? Sheer, what did you promise this guy? Lang Yu heard their conversation and came over to ask. I'll tell you, these people from the Mo clan are all bad under the leadership of that guy Mou. Don't promise anything and sell yourself. I will bring this to the old ancestor. Emoji stared at Lang Yu and said faintly. Lang Yu was startled by Emoji's gaze, thinking that this guy was still young now, but when he gets old, he will definitely be the same as Emoji. Uncle Yu, don't worry, I won't sell myself even if I sell you. Sima Yue smiled. The number is called over there, I'll go first. After that, she got up and walked to the gathering point of the third batch of players. Chapter 1841. In 1 second, she remembered Love Divided by You? Read book web, no pop-up windows, free to read. The third batch of people had almost gathered. They showed their numbers to the referee, and the referee grouped the people with the same number into a group, and asked them to wait at the side. Number 250, Morongshi from Vast Region. Sima Yue put her number on the table for the referee to see. A slender hand put a piece of paper beside her number, and it also had the number 250 written on it. Sima Yue turned to look at him, and he returned her a cold gaze. Enjoy your last moments. Sima Yue raised her eyebrows. Declaration of war? But she was not afraid. These words should be for you. She turned and left after saying that. Shameless boasting. The man stared at her, looking at her as if he was looking at a cold corpse. Sima Yue turned back to look at him, the corners of her mouth raised, and then turned back to the waiting area. Not long after, the second batch of people finished competing. This time was better than the last time, but 38 people still died. 201 to 300 go in. The host shouted. Sima Yue got up and went to the host to get a talisman, and then entered the realm of emptiness with the others. When she was outside, she was quite curious about the realm of emptiness, not knowing what it was like inside. After entering, she found that it was just an ordinary space, but the area was bigger. She found a more remote space, and the other party flew over, indicating that he was already above the underworld sect. The man did not even call out his underworld beast, and took out a long sword, looking down at her from above. Let me deal with you, I'll take advantage of you. You're not number 250, right? Sima Yue said with certainty. What does it matter if I am or not? Your opponent now is me. You should know that. The man said. Is that so? Then I don't need to ask for your name. Sima Yue summoned black lava and jumped onto its back. She flew into the air and confronted him. Because you're going to be a dead man soon. There's no need for people to remember your name. When the man saw her call He Yin out, he also called out his own underworld beast. It was an underworld wolf, which was already at the level of divine beast. It was even more powerful than the underworld wolves in the Moon Creek Valley. It seemed that the other prefectures were indeed much more powerful than Vast Prefecture, since they could casually take out a divine beast. However, in front of He Yin, you have to restrain your aura. He Yin, let's not play. Let's end this quickly, Sima Yue said. It was still too early for him to reveal too much of his strength. He Yin understood what she meant. He smiled and said, I like it the most. Eat my tail. It swung its tail over and slapped the underworld wolf's body, slapping it from the air to the ground and turning it into a pool of flesh and blood. Wolf! The man yelled, condensing his spiritual energy to attack He Yin. Chi! He Yin snorted contemptuously, opened its wings, and with a gentle flap, blew away his spiritual energy. Then, it quickly flew to the opposite side and grabbed the man, ignoring him as he slashed his claws with a sword. Really, what kind of cat or dog comes to kill my contractor? Be careful in the future. Don't be used as a tool. After that, he tore the man in half with his 2 claws. As soon as his claws loosened, his body fell down. Before he reached the ground, he was teleported out. Then Sima Yue and He Yin also went out. From the time she went in to the time she came out, the whole process was less than 5 minutes. She was the first person to come out so quickly. Good job. Lang Yu was the first to shout out and cheer for her. Then the people of Vast Prefecture also cheered. Sima Yue waved at them, and then went to the referee to register. The referee was shocked when he saw her. He stared at her for a while, unable to regain his senses. Please register for me, Sima Yue said. The referee then came back to his senses, wrote a sentence on the register and announced, Number 250, Murongshi of Vast Prefecture wins. Sima Yue saw that he was done and turned back to the rest area of Vast Prefecture. Miss, you are so amazing. Miss, you are really my idol. The people of Vast Prefecture all came up and surrounded her. She won so quickly, which gave the people of Vast Prefecture a lot of encouragement. Sima Yue was surrounded by them and couldn't come out. When Moronghui came over, those people moved aside. Not bad. Moronghui was also very happy. Sima Yue turned back and saw Gongzi Yuan, who she hadn't seen for a long time. She walked over and came to Gongzi Yuan, smiled and said, Gongzi Yuan, long time no see. Yes, long time no see. You really made me look at you with new eyes. Gongzi Yuan was shocked by Sima Yue's performance today. I didn't expect you to be so powerful in just over a year. He Yin is more powerful. Sima Yue smiled and said, What's your number? I went in the last 2 batches. Gongzi Yuan said, I just came yesterday. When the competition is over today, I will find you and we will get together. Okay. Sima Yue nodded. I have something to tell you tonight. Moronghui heard their conversation and came over to say. Sima Yue was a little surprised. She didn't hear him say anything before. Why did he come over at this time? However, she still nodded and looked at Gongzi Yuan apologetically. I'm sorry. It's okay. Then let's get together later. Gongzi Yuan said. Okay. Rua Baishi. Gongzi Yuan saw Xiao Rua by sitting next to Yu Qi and stopped talking. I will tell you later. Speaking of Xiao Rua Bai, her heart was also very bitter. In Eternal Brilliance City, Xiao Ruobai had gone through life and death with her several times, but Gongzi Yuan saw her like this and knew what happened in the middle, so he could only nod. At this time someone called him. He said to Sima Yue, "Then we will contact each other later." Then he walked towards the person who called him. She returned to the rest area and watched other people's competitions with everyone. In other resting areas and audience seats, everyone was discussing her competition. This Morongxi, isn't she a waste? She actually won so quickly. Eldest Prince Yulu said. Eldest brother, she doesn't have much strength, but she does have a black dragon. Little uncle was killed by this black dragon. Yuqi said. But I didn't expect it to become so powerful in just 2 years. Little uncle was actually killed by this black dragon? Yulu didn't care about this matter at all. For him, eating, drinking, and playing were the most important things. I think this Morongxi is nothing. Her strength is this black dragon. Yu Fei didn't take her seriously. That's not necessarily true. Without ability, how can the black dragon be willing to be her contract beast? Yuqi always felt that Morongxi was not simple, but no matter how he checked, he couldn't find anything wrong. Chapter 1842. Remember in 1 second. Love divided by you? Read book web. Update fast, no pop-up window, free to read. Yulu still didn't put Sima Yue's strength in his eyes. He looked at her and thought about how to press her under his body. Yu Fei and Yuqi both felt that Sima Yue was not simple, but the two of them had different ideas. One felt that they could win her over, and the other wanted to eradicate her. The first round of the competition took a day. The situation in Vast Region was not good. 22 out of 30 people were eliminated on the first day, which was far more than the standard of half. Sima Yue and the others returned to the inn. Yu Shi and Lang Yu were called away by some news halfway, and Moronghui took the people back. You all have a good rest. Those who advanced in the competition have to recuperate well these 2 days. Don't go out again. Moronghui said. Yes, Duke. The contestants dispersed. Sima Yue was also preparing to go back to her room. Moronghui called out to her, Sure, you stay. The others left, but Sima Yue stayed. She thought that Moronghui said that he had something to do at night was an excuse. Could it be that something really happened? Sure, I have something to tell you. Come with me. Moronghui took her back to her room, closed the door, and set up a barrier. Sima Yue saw that he was so cautious. Could it be that he wanted to tell her something secret? Sure, I want to ask you to do something. Father didn't ask you to do anything before. This time, please help me this time. Moronghui looked at her with a dignified expression. It was the first time Sima Yue saw him like this. She said, What is it? As long as I can do it, I will do it. I want you to treat someone. Moronghui said. Is it Wang Ye? Sima Yue asked. Yes. Moronghui never thought that he could hide it from her. Wang Ye's health has been delayed for a long time. Because of his poor health, many things can't be dealt with, which allowed the princess to have these forces. I want you to take a look at him, and see if he can be cured. Okay, Sima Yue replied. When are we going? Now. Now. You don't need to hide from others? Sima Yue was a little surprised. If they were going openly, why would they tell her so mysteriously? Come with me. Moronghui came to his bedroom, turned over the bed, and a tunnel appeared in front of them. Sima Yue was speechless. Wasn't this an inn? How could there be a tunnel? Moronghui jumped into the tunnel and motioned for Sima Yue to follow him. After entering the tunnel, he explained, This inn is Wang Ye's secret force. Sima Yue's little mouth opened slightly. She was shocked by this news. It wasn't because this inn belonged to Wang Ye, but because this place was occupied by people from Vast Region. My father has always been loyal to Wang Ye. Moronghui was not as surprised as she was and explained. This secret passage was dug so that the people who live here can secretly see His Highness. So this secret tunnel leads directly to the Wangfu, Sima Yue said. No, this is a courtyard that leads to Wang Ye. It's for him to rest. That's the only place where the princess can't get involved. Moronghui explained. However, there are still many people watching outside. We can only use this method to get in. The two walked for a while and saw a staircase, so they slowly went up. Moronghui knocked on the top of their head 3 times, then twice, then 3 more times. Clang! The floor above their head opened and Sima Yue saw the dim light. Prince Morong, you're here. Wang Ye has been waiting for a long time. The person who opened the floor said. I see. Moronghui came out of the tunnel, followed by Sima Yue. The people waiting here were a little surprised to see Sima Yue. They didn't expect that when Moronghui said he would bring someone, this person would be her. This is Wang Ye's personal guard, Guard Gao Yi. Moronghui introduced. Sima Yue saluted Gao Yi. Please come with me. Gao Yi was told to wait for Moronghui and bring the people he brought, so he didn't delay and took them to Wang Ye the Great. Is Wang Ye in the hot spring? Moronghui asked. Yes, today is the day to soak in the hot spring. After the competition, Wang Ye has been in the hot spring. Gao Yi said. After walking for a while, they came to a delicate courtyard with 2 open-air hot springs. One person was soaking in the hot spring. Greetings to Wang Ye, second prince. I didn't expect second prince to be here too. Moronghui didn't expect second prince Yu Yan to be here too. He was stunned for a moment and saluted the 2 of them. Sima Yue also saluted. Both Yu Wangye and Yu Yan didn't expect that the person Moronghui brought would be a woman, so they ordered to bring her here directly. Now they were naked in front of a junior, which made the 2 people in the hot spring uncomfortable for a moment. Yu Yan sank his body into the water. Yu Wangye quickly calmed down from the awkwardness and said, Morong, didn't you say you would bring a doctor? Why did you bring your daughter here? Back to Wangye, she is the doctor I mentioned. Moronghui replied. Her? The Prince of Great Yu looked at Sima Yu with some uncertainty. He was very gentlemanly, and did not finish his sentence. Yes. My daughter used to learn some medical skills, and has some achievements. She has some research on difficult and complicated diseases. Moronghui said. Ahem, in that case, take her to the side hall, we'll be there in a while. Yu Wangye said. Yes, Wangye. Sima Yue actually wanted to say that since you are wearing it now, you will have to take it off later, but she didn't want to say such bold words. She followed Moronghui to the side hall, and after a while, the princess consort of Great Yu and Yu Yan came over together. Sima Yue looked at Yu Yan, and thought that Yu Wangye really doted on him. He actually allowed him to come here and participate in the things he did. Was this sick guy really a prince who stood aloof from worldly affairs? Morong, you know, I have seen many doctors for this injury, but none of them have recovered. Even the imperial doctors can't do anything about it. Yu Wangye said. Wangye, you can let my daughter take a look. What if it works? Moronghui didn't say anything. Wangye, I want to take your pulse first to see your condition. Sima Yue said. Yu Wangye only hesitated for 2 seconds before he stretched out his hand. Sima Yue stepped forward and naturally sat next to him. She put her fingertips on his wrist and began to take his pulse. Both Yu Wangye and Yu Yan looked at her at this time. She was calm and was very different from the legendary trash. However, from the expressions of the 2, they didn't have much hope for her. Only Moronghui believed that she could do it. After a while, Sima Yue withdrew her hand and said lightly, The other hand. Yu Wangye stretched out his other hand. Sima Yue just took it for a while and frowned. Chapter 1843. In 1 second she remembered, Love Divided by You? Read book web no pop-up window, free to read. Sheer, what's wrong? Moronghui looked at her and knew that there was something wrong with her. Wangye was injured before and used forbidden medicine, right? Sima Yue asked. Yu Wangye was secretly shocked. She could tell that he had taken forbidden medicine just by taking his pulse. Look at Wangye's expression. Sima Yue said. Sheer, at that time, Wangye was dying and had to use forbidden medicine to save his life. Moronghui said. Then why didn't he use it after saving his life? Sima Yue asked. If he stopped using the medicine early, it wouldn't be like this. The doctor said that once the medicine is taken, it can't be stopped. Yu Yan said. Father had been restraining and reducing it, and finally stopped using it. Sima Yue was startled and said, "Oh." Everyone was confused by her reaction. What did she mean by "oh"? This forbidden medicine can be stopped. It's just that you don't know the method. Sima Yue said. But it's useless to say this now. Is it because of the use of forbidden medicine that he can't get better? Morong Hui asked. That's only one reason. Sima Yue said. Although Wang Ye has stopped using forbidden medicine now, there are still residues in his body. These residues must be discharged before we can proceed with the next step. It can be discharged. Dayu Wang Ye and Yu Yan were very surprised. But those doctors said that this will stay in the body for a lifetime. That's other doctors. Sima Yue said. Only useless people use forbidden medicine to save their lives. Hearing her words, the three of them twitched the corners of their mouths. These words were enough to attract hatred. So you have a way? Yu Yan asked. There is a way, but the process is a bit troublesome. Well, it's also a bit painful. Sima Yue said. As long as there is a way. Morong Hui heard her say this and knew that there was no problem. Don't be happy so soon. I need some things. It's useless if you don't have them. Sima Yue said. What do you need? Sima Yue took out a pen and paper and quickly wrote down a list. Dayu Wang Ye looked at the things she wrote down, and his expression was not as relaxed as before. If you can prepare all of these things, the problem of the forbidden medicine will be solved. Sima Yue said. If we can't find it, then we can only control your condition. We can't eradicate it. Can this be controlled? Dayu Wang Ye asked. Controlling it can only save your life for a few years. Sima Yue said. So it's best to cure it completely. Okay, I'll get someone to look for these things. You the great Wang Ye called a secret guard over and gave him the list. He instructed. These must be carried out in secret. Yes, Wang Ye. The secret guard was also in the room just now, so he naturally knew what this list meant. Let me see. Yu Yan said. The guard handed the list to Yu Yan. Yu Yan looked at it and handed it to him before he left. Yu Yan saw Sima Yue looking at him inquisitively and smiled. I didn't expect Miss Morong to be so powerful. I wonder if you can take a look at my body? Your body is not sick or in pain. There's no need for me to take a look at anything. Sima Yue said. I still have to give Wang Ye acupuncture. As soon as these words came out, Morong Hui was surprised. Dayu Wang Ye and Yu Yan were shocked. Second Prince Morong Hui looked at Sima Yue, and then looked at Yu Yan. He felt that this was a bit too much information. Cough cough, you didn't even show me. How do you know that I'm fine? Yu Yan said. Sima Yue walked over and grabbed his wrist saying, on the surface, your blood is insufficient. Your pulse is weak, and your body is empty. In fact, your body is very healthy. However, taking too much medicinal stone powder is not good for your body. Yu Yan was really shocked this time. He looked at Sima Yue as if he was looking at a monster. How did you know? I'm a doctor. Sima Yue said. When I saw you this morning, I felt that you looked a bit strange. I didn't expect you to use medicinal stone powder. That's amazing. No one knows about Yan, or using medicinal stone powder except for him and me. I didn't expect you to be able to tell just by taking his pulse. After Dayu Wang Ye was surprised, he was more happy. Since she was so powerful, there might really be hope for his body. Wang Ye, before those things are found, I have to give you acupuncture to suppress your injury. Sima Yue said. The method of soaking in the hot spring every few days has little effect. It's really not advisable. However, the effect of acupuncture will be good. Acupuncture? How do you do it? Dayu Wang Ye asked. You'll know when you get there. Sima Yue said. So the four of them went to the hot spring again and drove all the maids and guards out. Wang Ye, take off your clothes and go into the water. Sima Yue said as she waved her hand. A stone stool in the courtyard was rolled over and placed in the water. Dayu Wang Ye went down and sat on the stone stool, revealing his upper body. Dayu Wang Ye was a little unnatural, but he still took off his clothes and sat on the stone stool. Sima Yue looked at Yu Yan and Morong Hui. In the end, she chose Morong Hui and said, Father, go down with me and help me. What do you want me to do? Morong Hui asked. Just help me hold the silver needles, Sima Yue said. Why don't you let me go down? Yu Yan said. Sima Yue glanced at him. She guessed that he might be worried about her, and wanted to keep a close eye on her to prevent her from doing anything to Yu Wangya. So she nodded in agreement. Then let the second prince do it. Sima Yue came to the pool. Yu Yan followed her down and stood beside her. The water in this place was not shallow. It reached Sima Yue's waist, and her skirt was all wet. She took out the silver needle box and let Yu Yan hold it. She took out a long needle and inserted it into Yu Wangya's body. When Yu Yan saw such a long needle, he was a little worried that it would hurt if it pierced into his body. But when he saw that his father had no reaction at all, he knew that he was worried for nothing. Sima Yue did not take a short time to insert the needle. Yu Yan felt that his hand was a little stiff. However, when he saw that her forehead was covered in sweat and she did not make a sound, he suddenly wanted to wipe it for her. He had never seen a woman do things so seriously and so elegantly. After a while, Sima Yue inserted the last needle. She wiped the sweat from her forehead and said, "Okay, it will be very quick to take the needle out later." "Thank you for your hard work," Yu Yan said. Sima Yue nodded at him and then asked Wangya, "Wangya, how do you feel?" "The cold feeling in my body is a lot less. What kind of method is this? It's so magical. However, why do I feel that it's getting hotter and hotter?" Chapter 1844. In 1 second, she remembered, Love Divided by You? Read book web. There are no pop-up windows, it's free to read. It's normal for you. You've always had a cold body, so these needles will open up your meridians and suppress the cold in your body. The effect will be much better than just soaking in the hot spring. Sima Yue said. I see. I didn't expect that just inserting needles into the acupuncture points would have such an effect. Yu Wangya sighed. It's not that easy. Sima Yue said. Choosing the acupuncture points, the order and speed of inserting the needles, the effect will be ever-changing. It's so complicated, Yu Yan said. No wonder your medical skills are so much better than others. The people His Highness is looking for must be very powerful. I just happen to know this, Sima Yue said. But I heard that you don't know anything and don't know how to cultivate. I didn't expect you to be so good, Yu Yan pointed out. You said that it's just a rumor. You've been weak since you were young, but haven't you been fine? That's why you can't believe all the rumors, right? Sima Yue replied. Hee, I'm just doing this to protect myself, Yu Yan said helplessly. If I didn't have to, I wouldn't want to treat my body like this. Sima Yue looked at him sympathetically. It was really torturous to be oppressed for so many years. After a while, Sima Yue started to retrieve the needles. She was much faster than when she inserted the needles. With a few swishes, she retrieved all the needles. It's done. She put all the needles back into the box, kept the box, and climbed back to the shore. Father, how are you feeling? Yu Yan asked. Very comfortable. My body hasn't felt so comfortable in many years. Yu Wangya felt better and was in a good mood. He returned to the shore and put on his clothes. Sima Yue had already dried the water on his clothes. Murong, if I had known that your daughter was so powerful, I would have brought her here earlier. Yu Wangya looked at Sima Yue gratefully. That way, I would have suffered less. This girl hid it very well. I didn't expect her to know these things. Also, Wangya had been looking for a name all this time. I thought they would definitely be better than her. If it wasn't for the fact that the royal doctor couldn't do anything about it the day before yesterday, I wouldn't have remembered her. Morong Hui said. No matter what, I still have to thank you father and daughter. Yu Wangya said. Morong Shi, is there anything you want? Sima Yue thought for a while and said, Wangya definitely won't be willing to give me what I want. Forget it. Oh, is that something I already have? Tell me, what is it that I can't bear to give to you? Yu Wangya waved his long sleeves and said domineeringly. I want the realm of emptiness. Wangya, are you willing to give it to me? Sima Yue tilted her head and stared at him. When Yu Wangya heard this, he said, You're really making things difficult for me. See, I knew that Wang Ye wouldn't be willing to give it to me, Sima Yue said. It's not that I can't bear to give it to you, but this space isn't mine at all. Do you, Wang Ye said, the realm of emptiness isn't an artifact. It's just a folded space. Can you change it to something else? Then I haven't thought of what I want for the time being. Sima Yue wasn't disappointed. If Wang Ye wants to reward me, wait until I completely heal your injuries before you reward me. All right. Then you have to think about what you want during this period of time. Otherwise, I'll have to wait for you to go to the warehouse and find it yourself. Do you? Wang Ye laughed. Wang Ye, it's best for your injuries to be treated once every 5 days. Our competition happens to be once every 5 days. Then I'll come here every day after the competition to treat you, Sima Yue said. All right. It just so happens that my hot spring is also once every 5 days. Let's agree to come here. Do you? Wang Ye said. Wang Ye, if there's nothing else, we'll go back first. Morong Hui said. We've been out for too long. I'm afraid we'll attract attention. I still have something to tell you. Let Xier go back first. Do you? Wang Ye said. Father, then I'll go back first, Sima Yue said. There are many forks in the tunnel. Do you remember the way we came? Morong Hui said worriedly. I probably remember. When Sima Yue came, she noticed that there were many forks in the road. They should lead to other places. Father, why don't you let me send her back? This way Duke Morong can rest assured, Yu Yan said. That's fine, Morong Hui said. Then I'll have to trouble second prince. Seeing that they had decided, Sima Yue did not disturb their business and left with Yu Yan. Yu Yan took her to the entrance where they came from. After leaving the door, he looked sick again. It seemed that he had even hidden it from these people. Second prince, the guard said as he opened the entrance. Yu Yan went down first. Sima Yue followed him down. Yu Yan waited for her to come down and began to walk towards the inn. The two of them chatted on the way. Morongxi, are you really Morongxi? Yu Yan suddenly said. What does second prince mean? Sima Yue asked. There has never been a silver needle technique in the ghost realm, Yu Yan said. The world is so big. None of us can know everything. Really? But I happen to know some. I heard that the daughter of the Dark Princess is in the human world. Her silver needle technique is superb. It should be the same as yours, right? Yu Yan said faintly. Really? I don't know about that. Sima Yue did not admit it. Yu Yan stared at her for a while and did not continue to question her. Instead, he nodded lightly and said, I thought you knew something. I'm sorry to disappoint you. I don't know. Sima Yue did not admit it. If you meet, you can discuss this in the future. Yu Yan said. That's a good idea. Thank you for your suggestion. You're welcome. Second prince, based on the medical ethics of a doctor, I have to remind you that you can't take this medicinal stone powder anymore. Otherwise, your fake disability will become real disability. Sima Yue said. Thank you for reminding me. I know. If I'm really disabled, I'll have to ask you to treat me. Yu Yan smiled. For people who seek death, my fee is very expensive, Sima Yue said. I'm not looking for death. You should know that. I don't know. In my eyes, this is an act of seeking death. Sima Yue said. Then I can only start to prepare the expensive medical fees. Yu Yan said seriously. Okay. Then I'll reserve a place for you, Sima Yue said. Yu Yan laughed, giving people the feeling that he was very bright. You have to be careful of my brothers. I think they're more harmless than you, Sima Yue said. I'm here. Thank you, second prince, for sending me off. Goodbye. With that, she went up the stairs and opened the exit. Yu Yan watched her disappear from the exit. He was not in a hurry to leave. He whispered a name softly. Sima Yue. Chapter 1845. In 1 second, she remembered, Love Divided by You? Read book, web. There were no pop-up windows, and it was free to read. There were 5 days between each round of the county competition, so that the contestants could recover from their injuries. Other than staying at the side courtyard of the county prince's mansion for one night, Sima Yue didn't go out for the rest of the time. So those who wanted to cause trouble for her didn't know where to start. In the second round of the competition, there were 1,215 contestants. Because it was an odd number, one contestant would directly advance. The host asked everyone to draw lots, and Sima Yue and Fang Yinghan went over together. Out of all the lots, only one of them has the number 0 written on it. The person who gets the number 0 doesn't need to compete, and will directly advance. The host said, "Miss, do you think we'll get the number 0? Zhang Mingda asked with a smile. "I think Miss has a higher chance of getting it. As for you, you don't have the luck, so don't even think about it." Fang Yinghan said very brotherly, "TSK, maybe I'll get it." Zhang Mingda raised his chin. "No one knows for sure." "Anyway, I think you don't have the luck in luck," Fang Yinghan said. "You can dream about it. Besides, we're not lucky. Miss has always been very lucky," Zhang Mingda said cheerfully. "It's possible for anyone." Sima Yue didn't think that she would get the number 0, her luck. They came to the place where they drew lots, reached into the opaque box to draw their numbers, and then walked over to let the people behind them draw their numbers. Miss, did you get the number 0? Zhang Mingda didn't even look at his number before he went over to Sima Yue and asked. Sima Yue smiled and shook her head, then showed her number to them. It was exactly 600. This number sounded better than 250 last time. Zhang Mingda was a little disappointed. Even he didn't get the number 0, he didn't know who got it. "Maybe you got it," Sima Yue said with a smile. "I'm not that lucky," Zhang Mingda said and opened her number. 251, which was better than her last number. He waved the note in his hand. "See, I told you I'm not that lucky. It's all right, we'll just rely on our strength to advance." Sima Yue patted his shoulder. Zhang Mingda nodded. He looked at Fang Yinghan and asked, "What's your number?" Fang Yinghan was also paying attention to Sima Yue's number just now, so he didn't look at his own. When Zhang Mingda asked him, he opened his own note and was stunned. "What's wrong? What's your number?" Zhang Mingda leaned over to look at him. After being stunned for a moment, he patted him on the shoulder and exclaimed, "F***CK, what kind of person are you?" "I don't know," Fang Yinghan said. "Am I dreaming?" "F***CK, you actually got number 0. You're really lucky." Although Zhang Mingda was shouting, his smile was so wide that it almost reached his ears. When Sima Yue heard that Fang Yinghan had drawn number 0, she was slightly surprised and then smiled. "That's right. In that case, our county can already confirm that one of us will enter the next level. I don't know what kind of luck I have," Fang Yinghan said happily. Not bad, Zhang Mingda said. "Sigh, but I thought I would be able to draw number 0. How could my luck be with you? You should prepare well with everyone. And I will also work hard to advance. Contestant number 0, please report to the referee," the host shouted. Fang Yinghan didn't immediately go over. Instead, he put the note in Sima Yue's hand and said, "Miss, you should go." Sima Yue didn't expect him to do this. She returned the note and said, "I don't need this. I have Hei Yan, so advancing won't be a problem. Since you're the one who drew it, it's yours. Go quickly. The referee will be waiting anxiously." "That's right. Mrs. Hei Yan is better than yours. If you don't want this, you might as well give it to me." Zhang Mingda reached out to take the note. Fang Yinghan took his hand back, rolled his eyes at him, and then went to the referee. "This guy wears the Brotherhood." Zhang Mingda snorted. "Let's go back." Sima Yue smiled and shook her head. They returned to the rest area. When the people of Vast Region learned that Fang Yinghan had drawn number 0, they were very excited. Good. Our Vast Region will definitely achieve better results this time," Moronghui said with a smile. "You all have to work hard." "We will." Several people who had advanced were full of confidence. The referee registered Fang Yinghan and nodded to the host. The host opened the realm of emptiness and shouted, "The top 100 will enter the realm of emptiness." As before, The people whose numbers were in the top 100 automatically received their talismans after registering. Then, they found their opponents and began the duel. Sima Yue was in the last batch, so she watched the battle with Fang Yinghan and the others in the rest area. She found that the combat power of those underworld emperors was not low, indicating that in addition to improving their strength, their combat power did not fall behind. Mingda went in. His opponent turned out to be him. Fang Yinghan was a little surprised and then smiled. That person almost destroyed Ziping. Now that he met Mingda, it's great. He can take revenge himself. Was he the one who destroyed Ziping's meridians? Sima Yue asked. Well, at that time several people seriously injured us. In order to save Mingda, Ziping scolded them a few times and said that he didn't dare to fight alone. That person destroyed Ziping's meridians. Fang Yinghan said. Then this arrangement is really good. Sima Yue said. Mingda has been depressed about this before. If he can avenge Ziping today, he can also solve this knot in his heart. It will be good for his future cultivation. Yes. Fang Yinghan thought so too. As a good friend, he could naturally see that although Zhang Mingda was still laughing, he had always been very concerned about this. He really didn't expect that there would be such an arrangement. It was the will of the heavens. In the realm of emptiness, Zhang Mingda looked at his opponent and couldn't suppress the anger in his body. I really didn't expect to meet you in the second round. The heavens are really good to me. I can destroy your friend, so I can destroy you. That person saw that Zhang Mingda recognized him and did not deny it. Anyway, at this time, even if he found out his identity, it didn't matter. As long as he killed him here, who would know that they had attacked the people of vast region before? Then let's see who destroys who today, Zhang Mingda said as he called out his contract beast. At the same time, he condensed his spirit energy and transformed it into 7 black swords in front of his chest, shooting them at the opponent together. The opponent also condensed his spirit energy and condensed 7 spears. When they collided with the 7 swords, a sonorous sound was heard and all of them were broken in half. Sima Yue saw the first round of the 2 sides and felt relieved. Zhang Mingda would definitely win this round. Chapter 1846. 1 second to remember. Love divided by you? Read book web. Updated quickly, no pop-up window, free to read. Both sides were equal in cultivation, and the other side had the upper hand, but the other side had underestimated the enemy, and his combat power was not as good as Zhang Mingda's. Both sides were consuming spiritual power, and Zhang Mingda could also exhaust the other side to death. Sure enough, both sides had been competing with spiritual power. When both of their spiritual power were almost exhausted, it was time to compete with pills. Both sides took out pills to eat, but the effect was obviously different. Zhang Mingda's pills were refined by Sima Yue, so the effect was fast and the spiritual power recovered was much more. At this time, Zhang Mingda had the advantage. He changed his previous state of being restrained everywhere, and used his underworld skills as if they were free, smashing one after another on the opponent's body. The opponent could only use his newly recovered spiritual power to defend, and had no other spiritual power to attack. Zhang Mingda did not give him time to use his underworld skills. Puff! The opponent spat out a mouthful of blood. His body was injured in many places, and he fell heavily to the ground. He wanted to admit defeat, but before he could speak, Zhang Mingda's underworld skills chased after him. Puff, 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 puff. The man's wrists and ankles were all cut open, and blood sprayed out, soaking the surrounding ground. These are all for you. Zhang Mingda stood beside him with a sword, and the position of the sword was only 1 millimeter away from him. You lost. I won't. Admit defeat or die. The tip of Zhang Mingda's sword had already cut through his skin, and as long as it went in a little more, blood would be drawn. I admit defeat. You don't even have the courage to die. People like you will only be weak forever. Zhang Mingda took back his sword, took out the talisman, and crushed it out, reporting to the referee. And that person, because his meridians were destroyed, he could not crush the talisman with his mind. He could only lie on the ground and wait for others to finish the game before opening the realm of emptiness to bring him out. When he was carried out, he was only hanging on to his last breath. Well done. Moronghui praised. It's all thanks to Mississippi. Zhang Mingda looked at Sima Yue gratefully. If it wasn't for the fact that Mrs. Spiritual Energy replenishing pills were so powerful, I wouldn't have been able to beat him. It's also because you didn't fall that you were able to counterattack. Sima Yue said. I see that your injuries are quite serious. Hurry up and take your medicine and rest. Thank you, Mississippi. Zhang Mingda took the medicine, sat down on a chair, and began to heal himself. Mrs. Medicinal pills are truly miraculous. He had never used it before, so he didn't know its effects. But from the looks of it now, it was several times more effective than other pills. Our people in the later competition, this is an advantage. Morong Lin said. The elimination process in the first round was too fast. Many people didn't even have the chance to fight before they were eliminated. When the disparity was too great, all other methods were useless. At the beginning, the strength of the eliminated teams is too far apart. The strength of the later competitions is similar, so these are more important. Moronghui said. I believe that our results this year will be much better than before. Morong Lin said with a smile. He was not confident in these people but in Sima Yue's medicinal pills. Some of her medicinal pills were invincible in the same level. He didn't know how she refined these medicinal pills. Obviously they were all the same herbs and the same steps. How could she refine different medicinal pills? In the following competitions, as they had guessed, when they encountered people with the same strength, it was basically the people from vast region who won. So before Sima Yue arrived, 5 people from vast region were promoted this time, which was much better than expected. The last 107 groups of contestants entered, and Sima Yue found that her opponent was lucky enough to be one of the people who had hurt Gu Zipping and the others. Originally, she was going to ask the opponent if he was willing to admit defeat. Now that she knew that he was an enemy, this step was directly saved. She called out He Yen, stood on its back, and flew into the air. The other party also called out his flying beast and flew into the air. Don't think that you are the only one who has a flying beast. Although your black dragon is powerful, it is still no match for my sacred beast. You. So much nonsense. Sima Yue dug her ears. He Yen, do it. He Yen didn't even take the other party seriously. It swung its tail, but it didn't hit. It actually dodged. The other party saw the surprise on Sima Yue's face and said proudly, my flying beast is famous for its speed. How can your black dragon be faster than it? What are you so proud of? He Yen didn't hit, and was even bragged about by the other party. It was furious and swung its tail again. It missed again. He Yen was stunned. This was the first time it missed its opponent twice in a row since it came out. I am going to tear you apart. It raised its head and shouted, wanting to fly over and attack. He Yen, how many times have I told you, don't be impatient. If the first time doesn't work, then try twice. If the second time doesn't work, then try thrice. Go, this time it will definitely work. Sima Yue comforted it. After being stopped by her, He Yan's anger subsided. Although it didn't know why it was able to hit this time, but if you said it would, then it would. Hence, it raised its tail again and swung it towards the human and beast in the air. The people outside had been paying attention to Sima Yue ever since she entered. There was no other reason other than that her contracted beast was too eye-catching. Everyone remembered that she killed her opponent in one hit last time, and thought that it would be the same this time. They didn't expect her to miss twice in a row. When they saw He Yen attacking for the third time, they thought that it would be useless this time as well. However, they didn't expect the other party to be frozen, and could only watch as the tail swung towards them. Bang! The human and beast were smashed to the ground by He Yen and spat out a mouthful of blood. I told you to dodge. Aren't you very fast? Come on, fly again. He Yen said as it swung its tail again, flattening the human and beast. This wasn't enough for it to vent its anger. It swung its tail again, and was only satisfied when it smashed a big hole in the ground. Sima Yue stretched out her hand and held her forehead. This guy was doing such a disgraceful thing again. Okay, let's go out. She took out the talisman and crushed it. She took He Yin out and reported to the referee. The audience was surprised at first. They didn't expect He Yin to really kill the other party. After 2 rounds, she didn't even move her hand. Did you see the end? Lang Yu asked. I saw it. Yushi was also very surprised. I didn't expect her to have such a deep understanding of space techniques. Amazing. Lang Yu touched his chin. So she is also an array master. I don't know how much she has that we don't know. Not far away, Yuan Yin asked Emoji. Is this space ceiling? What level of attainment has she reached? I don't know which level she has reached, but she is above me anyway. As soon as Emoji's words came out, Yuan Yan's eyes widened. Chapter 1847. Remember in 1 second. Love divided by you? Read book web. Update quickly, no pop-up window, free to read. Yuan Yin knew Emoji's attainments in array formation. Although he had heard him say that she was very powerful before, he was still shocked when he saw it with his own eyes again, and heard Emoji say so. However, not everyone knows as clearly as they do. In the eyes of these people, Sima Yue didn't do anything and easily passed 2 rounds. How did she do it? She didn't hit the first 2 times. How did she hit the 3rd time? The eldest Prince Yulu turned his head and asked Yuchi beside him. 7th Imperial Brother, do you know? Space blockade. She used space blockade to seal her opponents and contract beasts in a small space so that they can't move. In this way, the speed advantage of the contract beasts can't be exerted. Yuchi explained for his brother. It's really surprising. I didn't expect her to have such attainments in space. This Morong, she is really surprising. The little Prince Yufei looked at Sima Yue with interest. I thought she was just lucky to contract a black dragon, but I didn't expect her to have such strength herself. So, those rumors that she is a waste are really false. When Yu Yen heard this, the corners of his mouth curled up as he remembered what she said. Rumors can't be trusted, can they? 2nd Imperial Brother, what are you thinking? Yu Lu saw Yu Yen looking at Sima Yue and smiling. He thought to himself, is this sick person going to snatch her from me? I'm just thinking, if she is really powerful, then how strong is her own strength? Yu Yen responded. 7th Imperial Brother is right. The person who can make the Black Dragon submit is definitely not a waste. Yu Fei said. I didn't expect her to be able to face so many years of rumors and still not care. Yuchi didn't answer. He watched Sima Yue talking and laughing with others and secretly said, this Morong, she actually hid her strength so deeply. Could it be that the person who killed the double fiend Black Shadow and the Dream Realm ancestor was really her? He turned his head to look at Xiao Ruabai, who also looked shocked. Obviously, she didn't expect Sima Yue to be so powerful. However, did she really not know? Ruabai, you also didn't know that she was hiding her strength? Yuchi stared at her, wanting to see through her every expression. Xiao Ruabai shook her head. Yuchi grabbed a strand of her hair and played with it. I hope you really don't know. If you let me down, I don't know what I will do. Xiao Ruabai pulled her hair back and said lightly, I said let me leave. You are my future princess consort. Where do you want to go? Where can you go? Apart from me. Who in the entire dynasty would dare to take you in? Are you threatening me? A threat? I'm just concerned about your safety. Xiao Ruabai sneered. 7th Prince, what you want is not with me at all. Even if you force me to stay, the result will be the same. If you had saved my grandfather back then, you might have already gotten that thing. What did you say? Yuchi asked innocently. Xiao Ruabai was too lazy to pay attention to him, and turned her gaze to the arena. When Sima Yue looked over, she happened to see a flash of killing intent in his eyes. The rest of the competition ended quickly. Including Fang Yinghan, who was directly promoted, there were 608 people who would participate in the next round of competition. It was still early when Sima Yue went back. It was not until nightfall that she and Morong Hui went to the prince's mansion. Yu the Great, Wang Ye and Yu Yen were already waiting in the courtyard. The two were playing chess. You're here. Wait for us to finish this game. Yu the Great said Wang Ye. Sima Yue looked at Yu Yen, who was studying the chess game. How could such obvious love be hidden from the eyes of others? In the eyes of others, I am a sick person who doesn't have much time left. Even if father dotes on me a little more, others won't care. Yuyan raised his head and replied with a smile. Huh. Sima Yue was stunned. How did he know what she was thinking? Your thoughts are very obvious. Moreover, if I say that I can read minds, would you believe me? Yuyan asked. I don't believe you. If you can read minds, then you won't lose this game. Sima Yue said. Yuyan raised his eyebrows. She was so sure that he would lose? Sima Yue smiled and motioned for him to continue. Sure enough, he lost after a while. How did you know? Yuyan asked. I guessed. Wangya, let's get ready to start. Sima Yue said. Okay. You the great, Wangya got up. Are we still going to the hot spring? Yes. Sima Yue said. They went to the hot spring. This time, she did not ask Yuyan to carry the silver needles because they had prepared a stone table in advance. She could put the box on the stone table. After she finished the acupuncture, you the great, Wangya felt more comfortable. After you did the acupuncture last time, my body has been more comfortable. After you did the acupuncture this time, I feel even more comfortable. Is the silver needle technique really unable to cure my injury? This is only temporary. Sima Yue said. Right now, I'm only forcing the cold air and the forbidden medicine to a corner of your body. When it accumulates, it can't be suppressed and the rebound effect will be even more powerful. If I haven't collected the things I want by then I can't do anything about it. Why are those things hard to find? Not really. There are only one or two that are harder to find, but we already know where they are and sent people to look for them. There will be news in 2 days. Yuyan said. Then let's wait for 2 days. Sima Yue said. Wangya's body can't be delayed for too long. It's better if it's a day earlier. If it's delayed, even if his body recovers, it may affect his cultivation. We know. Once the things are here, we will send people to find you. Yuyan said. Okay. Yuyan sent her back as usual. Today, the princess consort said that she would hold a small banquet and invite the duke and his children. I think she might be targeting you. She really put in a lot of effort. Sima Yue curled her lips. She didn't think that the princess consort would kill her. You killed her Dream Realm ancestor and Double Fiend Black Shadow in a row. Now that you're hiding in the inn and not going out, she naturally has to find a way to make you go out. Double Fiend Black Shadow? Who are they? Sima Yue asked. Double Fiend Black Shadow is her 2 most capable killers. After they were sent to kill you, they never returned. Why you didn't kill them? No. I only met the Dream Realm ancestor. I didn't see Double Fiend Black Shadow at all. Sima Yue said with certainty. Then could it be the Duke or someone else? Yuyan asked. No, if it was my father or Uncle Emoji who killed them, they would tell me to be careful when I go out. But they didn't mention it. Are you sure they came to kill me and died? Sima Yue asked. Of course I'm sure. Yuyan was sure about this. Seeing her strange expression, he asked. Why you think of someone? You're tuning in to the Echoes of the Heart YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.